You're listening to the GeekCast Radio Network of podcasts.
It's time. The countdown begins.
Steve Megatron rolling now with the Transformers power. TFG1 mic channeling the vibe, the nostalgia tower. OptimusSolo, steady voice, counting down the list we know. Top 100 rated series. Legends rise, the fans unite. From the classics to the brand new dreams, we're counting down the best tonight.
This, the GeekCast Radio Network.
Top 100 rated series countdown.
Hello and welcome to the GeekCast Radio Network's Top 100 Animated Series 15th Anniversary 2026 edition. I'm Steve Megatron, and joining me in this animated adventure as we continue our deep dive into the Top 100 are TFG1 Mike.
Hello.
OptimusSolo.
I'm here.
And DJ Valentine.
It's me.
So with the first episode down and many shows both expected and unexpected, and a lot of upsets in the lineup from the 2011 edition, we're in for a lot of interesting twists and turns. Definitely been more interesting as we heard the votes for the 100 through 76 on the last episode, with only one master of ceremony here knowing the full list. I'm a little worried of what's to come or not. So with that, take it away, OptimusSolo.
Well, I thought we would start out by looking a little bit at what we did last time. Obviously, at the end of these records, we're all ready to fall into catatonic states, so we don't have a lot of time to discuss them. So we're going to do a quick review of last episode and a quick preview of what the guys think may or may not happen in this episode, and then we'll start revealing 75 through 51. So where we stand so far after the first 25 have been revealed. First, looking at time periods. We had 5 cartoons that fell in the pre-1980s time period that have already been listed. We had 8 last time from the 1980s, only 3 from the 1990s, that being our lowest represented time period. We had 5 from the 2000s and 4 from 2010 to present. Steve, any surprises on that so far? We have 1980s reigning supreme so far and 90s in last.
I think that the 90s will kind of come back with a vengeance a little bit, but I think there's still plenty in the 80s that haven't been tagged here yet. So I think we're going to be pretty heavily in the 80s to 2000s.
And DJ, I'll get to you in a second after I go through these, because I want to get your thoughts as you had a chance to see the list of 25 that we revealed last time, but you haven't had a chance to comment on those. So I'll give you a few seconds to think about that before I come to you. When it comes to channels represented so far from the first set of 25, we so far have ABC reigning supreme with 5 animated series. Again, these are just the channel that these shows debuted on. They may have switched later on in their life span, but this is where they started. We have 4 from Nickelodeon and 4 syndicated shows. That kind of leads the way. We have yet to see anything that aired originally on MTV or Fox. We only have had 1 from Adult Swim and Disney and WB, 2 from NBC and 2 from Cartoon Network. And then from a production company standpoint, right now, Marvel, Hanna-Barbera, and Nickelodeon are locked in a tie at the top for the 3 shows each that they had represented. And we have WB and Disney with 2, and then a whole bunch with 1 or 0. So we will see if any of those get mentioned in today's episode. From a genre representation, last episode we revealed 5 quote-unquote superhero films, 4 anime, what I would consider 7 kind of more of the younger audience, comedy-themed centric shows, probably 9 that you would consider sci-fi and fantasy. This is not counting the superheroes. And then we've had 0 entries that were what I would consider adult comedy so far. We have seen some franchises that have already made an appearance. We've seen our first Star Wars, Transformers, X-Men, Spider-Man, and Batman shows arrive here so far. Mike, when it comes to companies, channels, genre, anything that surprised you so far in last week's episode?
I'm gonna say it every episode. It was a slobber knocker. It's been crazy, and I don't know what's gonna happen. It really has been, and it's one of those things where you just don't know. And the going back and just looking at specifically the production companies and the channels, it's like you really don't have that now because Disney owns everything. Warner Brothers owns everything else.
For now.
Like,
For
I
now.
mean, you know, but you know what I mean? Like, you You don't have your Ruby Spears, you don't have your Deke, you don't have your Nelvana, you don't have your Mainframe. You don't have MTV doesn't do anything other than reality friggin' crap. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have the variety that we grew up with, whether it be 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or the 80s, and even into the 90s and the 2000s. You don't have all of that nowadays in the current generation. You have Disney and their conglomerate of every monopoly that they own. And
Right.
then you have Warner Brothers and maybe Paramount in a close second, and if they don't get bought by Warner Brothers
Yeah,
or vice versa.
for the purpose of this, if it is streaming on like a Disney Prime, I am counting that as Disney, or things of that nature. So if it's a direct
Right. No,
correlation to
no,
the streaming
yeah.
service, I do include that. We did talk about in the introduction episode that there was 27 shows from 15 years ago that did not were not able to repeat into our top 100. So we have 27 new shows that made the top 100 this time around. Obviously, that's somewhat expected with 15 more years worth of animated series to choose from. Out of those 27 new shows to appear, we saw 12 of them in last week's episode. So 12 out of the 24 have already shown up. I don't know if that's surprising or not that they're on this end. Usually we think about this first episode where we do 100 through 76 as kind of, if we were like to name each episode, this is like, that would be the wild card one, right? Like 100 to 76, it's interesting to see what sneaks in. Sometimes there's like some that have more of a cult following or a niche audience that are able to sneak into that section. We get into today's list and it's usually more about, do they belong on this side of 50 or the other side of 50 type deal, but it starts to get a little bit more expected. And then obviously with the top 50, it's mostly expected. It's just a debate on where they should fall within that. So that's kind of how these usually end up kind of pairing out. We've also talked about shows that either we didn't rank last time, shows that we did rank that fell or gained ground, or those shows that did receive votes 15 years ago, but not enough to make the countdown that for some reason 15 years later have gained enough traction to end up on the countdown. So that's something we'll kind of keep track of as we go as well. Last week's episode, we had, like I said, 12 new ones. Today, we're going to have 11 new ones. So that's 23 out of the 27. So we'll only see 4 in the top 50 that appeared that we did not rank last time around. And last week's episode, we had 4 that were not ranked 15 years ago. Today, we're going to have 5. Last week, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 that received votes 15 years ago, but not enough to make the countdown that gained enough to make it this time. We're going to only see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this time around that have climbed up. Last episode, we saw 2 shows that increased their rankings. So they climbed up the rankings. That was Gem, who climbed 6 spots, and Woody Woodpecker show, which climbed 8 spots. We're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shows that climb in the rankings this time around. So DJ, you've had a chance to review numbers 100 through 76. Give us your thoughts, anything that surprised you, or what were your immediate reactions?
I was looking at the list earlier today, and I was like, some of the stuff I was very happy about. Some of the stuff, one thing I was kind of like disappointed in, and then the other thing I was like surprised by. One of the things I was very happy about was X-Men 97 being on this early, because I have it really high on my list, because usually you get DJ, I'm speaking myself in the third person, you get a lot of like love from me if I thought you were going to be trash. You are actually very, very good. And X-Men 97 coming into it, I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, man. What are you guys going to do? It's never going to work. And then I watched like the first episode. I'm like, do I like Cyclops now? I think I like Cyclops now. Oh my God, Storm is cool. So yeah, for that show, just I don't want to say underrated. It's playing. It's about a continuation of the original show. For it to be as good as it was I was like, I want more people to watch this. I was happy, very happy about that. A little disappointed that Spectacular Spider-Man is so low, because I think that's the best maybe top 3 iteration of Spider-Man in terms of writing I've ever seen. I'm talking about live action, anything. Spectacular Spider-Man is if you're a Spider-Man fan, you have not seen Spectacular Spider-Man, I don't think you're gonna get much better than that. I was hoping it would be a little bit higher. And then the thing that surprised me was I was like, huh, really? They they got a Danger Mouse on here. I thought it was only me that liked Danger Mouse.
I love Danger
I was
Mouse.
thinking, sure. I thought I was in the Danger Mouse. I'm in the Danger Mouse hive, man. Me and Penfold
Love
hanging back,
Danger
bro.
Mouse.
Love me some Danger Mouse. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, hey, Danger Mouse made it in the there we
I was
go,
very
baby.
happy.
Very happy for my boy. I love that car. I love the yellow car, man. I love what's the name of the frog? Is it Flint? No. Man,
Gosh, you're trying to
the villain. I forget the oh god, I forget his name. I just remember Penfold and Danger Mouse. But I used to watch Thames programming all the time, and off of Nickelodeon. I was alive at the
Silas
time.
Greenback, right?
There you go. That's his name.
Yeah,
I did not, for the record, I know I can't prove this, but I did not look that up. It did
that's
come
it,
to
though.
me.
You're correct. That was the first show I ever heard. I heard the word grovel, and I figured out what it meant because there was an episode where there's a robot where they keep saying grovel, but he thinks he means gravel. It had to be there. But yes, Danger Mouse being on the list, I was very happy about. So yes, everything I see on this list, the
you had to boot one out. If you had to boot one out that was like maybe this isn't top 100 worthy, what would it be?
Oh man, probably Legend of Korra. I hate Legend of Korra.
I actually brought that up to my kids, and they're like, "That is the worst one."
It is not good. I mean, you got to understand what you're coming off of. You're coming off of probably Nickelodeon's best animated show ever in terms of lore, story, writing, performance. And then you do Legend of Korra, and you're coming from like I can name 6 characters on the original show that are likable. I can name maybe 1.5 that are likable on Legend of Korra. And it's not the title character. So yes, I was kind of like, oh, Legend of Korra's on this list. I put Young Justice above Legend of Korra.
We'll have to see if any of those come up this time around that we think maybe should not be represented or things of that nature. Another thing that I thought was interesting that kind of came up over the course of last episode that we'll have to see if it continues is the idea of what you think holds more weight. And I think the two things that we have seen come up that are like paired against each other is impact or historical significance versus like standing the test of time, entertainment, or quality. And I think like everybody views those and weighs those differently. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays as we go through more, because we do have shows that not just old shows, or classic shows, but just shows that had like a very high impact on whether it be a subgenre or a time period or influenced a lot of more shows that came after it. And do we weigh that higher, or is it more important that regardless of the impact, you have something that is just, well written, well acted, well performed, the whole kit and caboodle as far as quality goes? And I think sometimes you get the unicorn that has both of those things, but sometimes it's one or the other. So it's going to be interesting to see where you guys kind of fall as we go through, because we talked about that a little bit with things like, let's see, we had last time around, I'm trying to think, we had like Speed Racer in a way was kind of like that, historical significance. How rewatchable is it? We had the Adventures of Gummy Bears when it comes to like the Disney afternoon and things of that nature with the same type of argument. Super Friends comes to mind, right? Like very impactful for, a couple generations worth of kids that hadn't seen superheroes represented that way. Does it, is it the same quality of a Batman the Animated Series? Of course not. But like when there's more gray area, what do we weigh more on that when it comes to some of those things? Dragon Ball, we had the original Dragon Ball on here, right? So like, do we give it extra points for being as influential as it is, or do we think, a series that come later that are higher quality outweigh it? DJ, what do you kind of think of some of those like dichotomies?
It's hard because when you break that up, because like there's sometimes I'll watch a show and I'm like, this show is too important. When I was making my list, I was just like, show is like in my blood. And there's a show that's like, well, I've grown up and I've appreciated things like writing and story structure. And I'm like, this blows these things out of the way. But then there's another one. This one makes me feel good. I like putting this on him. It gives me, because Speed Racer is kind of like, if you rewatch it now, it's kind of like the importance of it is trumping everything, but like in terms of rewatchability, I'm not going to probably sit down and watch Speed Racer, but there's episodes of things that I won't say that's going to probably be in the top 10 that I will rewatch and it still holds up, and that's good. And it influenced me, like that unicorn you're talking about. So I guess I was looking for unicorns when I was making my list. But
good thing to look for.
If I was young, yeah, it's true. And when I was younger, I'd probably be looking for more feel good. But now that I'm older, I'm looking for more story structures. More like this is way even ahead of its time in terms of I can watch this and have somebody who knows nothing about it watch it and have them appreciate it. Then, let's just say something silly. There's like a silly show that might make me feel good, but I can't justify this in public. Right. It's just for me. But yeah. So I think I'm looking for unicorns, but most of the time now, if it was 20 years ago, I wouldn't be looking for story structure. But me, I'm looking for those stories that, because that's all these things are. All entertainment is who's telling the best story with the best stuff.
Yeah,
pretty much.
True.
Pretty much. So who's
back
telling
down to it?
Yep.
Right. So if you're telling me a story that I love and I can come back and enjoy it, and then I can share it, and then have somebody who's skeptical go, oh, you know what? I didn't want to watch it, but it is pretty good. If I can get that out of a show, then you are a unicorn, and I will appreciate you.
Why are you talking about Mike like that? Anyways, just to give reference, I'm sorry,
my story is one of the worst stories in human history. So shut up.
So, anyways, we said last time, this is a compilation of 44 different individuals that contributed to this list from all walks of podcast, website, blog, YouTube channels, including some actual cartoon historians, Jerry Beck, Greg Ehrbar. We have Tom Ruger, Buzz Dixon, Flint Dilley. They all submitted lists. And I know I'm forgetting a couple folks that I'll kick myself. Keith Scott. So like we've had a variety of folks, and we were interested to see, like, as we expanded our age range, like we talked about last time, we did this 15 years ago and we were probably all within the same generation-ish. And this time we're ranging, 7 decades, and we have people as, far up there into their 70s that submitted lists, and, on down through, people that aren't even 10 yet. So it's interesting to see kind of how this will go. And before I let Steve kind of give a final thought on what he expects from today's episode, I will mention a couple things. We have 44 lists. That means there was 44 number one rankings. We've mentioned in the intro episode that 3 of them didn't make the countdown. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But there was 3 people's number one that did not make the top 100. We didn't see any in last episode. So that number 100 through 76 did not see anybody's number one. Today we will see 2. So we will see 2 of our reveals that did appear on somebody's number one list. And although we did have 3 ties that we had to settle on air last time, we will have 0 ties this time around. Steve, what are your thoughts going into this episode? Anything you are curious about, expecting, or anticipating?
For one, we don't do ties. No, I'm unsure what to expect, just because as we were doing the tally for the last episode, I was going through and you were telling, like, okay, it was this number on the old list, or it was this number, and I was going, oh crud. Like, some of these moved pretty randomly, from way out of the list to the list, or out of the, from the list out, and so I really don't know what to expect. I'm hoping that some of the shows in my top 10 wait until later, preferably in the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I sincerely don't think my number one is in this episode. It might be in one of the next 2. I think for sure in the final one. I don't think it'll land where I think it will, but I'm looking forward to where this goes.
The biggest movers we saw last time, we saw 2 shows that ranked originally 15 years ago 349th and 289th in Speed Racer and Rocko's Modern Life, that climbed that far to get into the countdown. We will not see anything like that today. the highest somebody will climb is 85 spots in order to get into the countdown. So nothing as extreme as we saw last time. And with that being said, I think we've kind of teased it enough. So let's get right into the 75 through 51 and start revealing the shows.
75.
All finished, sir.
Thanks, shoe shine boy. You're humble and lovable.
Bless you, sir.
Underdog.
All right, we are starting in the past. Let's start back in 1964 for our number 75 list entrant here. This was not ranked last time. This will be our highest climber. It went from 185th 15 years ago to 75th this time around. It was on 3 of the lists that we kind of looked at when we were trying to compile the nominees for this. With 919 points, we are talking about Underdog. Now, I will give a little thoughts and then I'll let you guys go. I have prepared some kind of pro and cons about most shows. I won't share them with everyone, but Underdog is one of the earliest successful examples of genre parody within animation, specifically taking the superhero format and making it comedic long before superheroes became dominant in pop culture. And it was a kind of represented a time where animation was transitioning into appointment television for kids, which kind of made it a foundation of serialized character recognition in TV animation. Some will say that it's overly repetitive, though, structurally simple and limited when it comes to animation. So, does the historical inclusion of kind of what it represented for genre parody things and appointment television TV outweigh the fact that maybe it's not, hasn't aged maybe as well as some of the other ones? DJ, since you're the guest, we'll start with you. What do you think about Underdog?
My number 100.
There we go.
I remember Underdog. I watched it, but I think back when I was younger, we used to have like these blocks before you go to school of cartoons. I think Underdog was like stuck in between Rocky and Bullwinkle and
Probably.
another. I think it was Secret Squirrel. I cannot remember, but I was just like, once Rocky and Bullwinkle went off the air, I was kind of like, all right, man, you're not gonna get better than this. And then it didn't really.
Yeah. I like the theme song.
The theme song is great, but with your description of it, I'm just like, yeah, that sounds dang accurate, because it's like it didn't give me enough for me to like. I remember it. It's like, that night in Vegas. You go to you just want to, like, you remember it, but you don't talk about it too often. You don't tell anybody, especially anybody important in your family, because you don't want anybody to know that you actually watched Underdog. Very, very drunk. So yes, the Underdog 100 is fine. 100, 75 is really high for me, but
Yeah.
I had it really low because it's more of a memory than I enjoy the show kind of thing.
I did not have this one ranked personally. I don't know if we may say this is a product of including an older demographic in some of our contributors or not. We'll have to kind of wait and see how that plays out. Steve, what do you think about Underdog?
I actually think it's kind of funny it's on here. I didn't list it this go around in the list, but I know I did the last time. And I know for a fact my kids listed it. I have
Another
their
one.
list. Yeah. I have their list pulled up just because I submitted them for them, and I was quite surprised in the shows that they picked. My oldest actually had it in his top I think his top 45. Yeah, it was like number 44. And the other kid my youngest had it in his like top 15.
Okay.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
I like that
actually, it
they
was number 3. It was number 3.
Oh
Wow. He's a big Underdog fan. I like that they like
Yeah.
some of the classics. That's for sure. Mike, what do you think about Underdog?
So
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I was going to say I really enjoy the show for what it is for the time, but I think that it's best left in nostalgia for me. Because as DJ mentioned, it is kind of repetitive. I like the theme song, which is kind of the case with most older cartoons. But yeah, I think that the show kind of deserves to be here. Plus, it's had different resurgences over the years.
Yeah, for sure. Mike, agree or disagree? It seems like 3 of us are saying this may be too high.
Can we flip flop 75 and 85 and put Wacky Races here and put Underdog in the previous
for that.
episode?
Can we do a
what?
trade? Get my
Yeah,
general manager on the line.
that's right. Yeah, I agree with what Steve and DJ are saying. And honestly, outside of the fact that Shoeshine Boy is underdog, I don't remember
Don't give away his secret
anything.
identity, man. Come
I
on.
don't,
What are you-
but I don't care. I don't remember anything about the damn cartoon. I don't remember anything.
Not even the theme song?
Like barely.
Okay.
Wow.
Like I really don't like I was trying to think and I'm literally just sitting here. I don't have Chrome open. I don't have any tabs open.
Hmm.
I'm just sitting here with the document pulled up, with the list pulled up. That's it. Obviously, I don't have the list. I'm writing them down as we go. But it's one of those things where I remember watching Underdog as a kid. I remember liking the cartoon as a kid. But
Hmm.
as we're sitting here discussing it, I'm more remembering the anthill mob trying to kidnap Penelope Pitstop than anything, or protecting Penelope. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Something with Penelope Pitstop over there in the wacky races. I don't know.
Let's keep this rated
Yeah,
B.
No,
don't
All right.
not
name like
like
Penelope
that.
Pitstop. That could mean a lot of stuff. All right. It's
Uh-huh.
right in Vegas. I'm just putting it out
On
there
that
again.
note, let's move.
You're the one
Let's
that
move
keeps
on.
mentioning Vegas, Mr.
You
Gambler.
knew her name, bro. I'm just telling you.
Uh-huh.
All right, we got to separate these two. Let's move on to the next sentence.
74.
I can't tell you what an intense thrill it is to be on your show.
Sure you could.
Well, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Tell him now. Tell him.
Hey, Zorak, you...
Shut up.
All right, I thought it might be fun on a couple of these for me to read the description and see if you guys can guess which show. So I'm going to put DJ on the spot with this one as we move into our number 74 here. This show is a format disruptor. It essentially created the tone and identity of Adult Swim and pioneered a style of humor that feels incredibly modern, with awkward pauses, surreal edits, and anti-comedy. Repurposed Hanna-Barbera characters, introduced the idea of remixing existing IP into something entirely new, a concept that's now everywhere in internet culture. It's one of the clearest examples of animation influencing comedy beyond animation.
That could be 3 shows.
All right,
I know.
I'll give you a little bit more here. The argument against it would be that it's maybe too niche or experimental to rank alongside more fully realized animated series. So the argument may be, is this either wildly underrated for its influence or properly placed because its appeal isn't universal? This show debuted it's going to be our 4th entry into the 90s. We're talking about 1994. DJ, do you have a guess?
I have 3. Oh, God, it could be Blab. It could be Brack Show. It could be Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I'm going to go Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's what I thought it was too.
Yeah.
All right. Space Ghost Coast to Coast aired on Cartoon Network. And DJ, you guessed it, so you get to go first here. What's your thoughts? Does Space Ghost Coast to Coast, all the stuff I read actually true? And does it hold up and does it belong?
I had to like grow up to appreciate it because when I was like, I like Space Ghost because I remember Space Ghost. I lived through Space Ghost, so I was like, okay, taking space because this didn't happen really. This show, what you described to me, I don't remember it ever happening where they take a cartoon that you remember. Now he's a talk show host and he's interviewing real people like Conan O'Brien. It's like what's going on? So now it's like, of course, that makes sense. Yeah, it's quirky in a weird way. But at the time, it was like, what is this? What's going on? But when I rewatch it now, and I'm like, this was way, way ahead of its time, I think. So yeah, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, one of those shows that I wasn't a humongous fan of, but I completely appreciate it for what it did, especially for Adult Swim, definitely. And for the genre, as you described, it's light years ahead of its time. There was nothing that I can think of at the time that was like that ever. So yeah.
Last time we had this ranked number 15 years ago, it was ranked number 76. It has moved up 2 spots to number 74. Steve, what do you think about Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
I think it was a great show. I enjoyed even just the original Space Ghost, and then I watched this one, and the animation was kind of goofy, and the banter between Space Ghost, Zorak, and Brack were hilarious on every episode, plus the special guests. So it did make it very awkward in certain scenarios, but it was I don't know. I think it's one of those experimental shows from the 90s that kind of fit that era very well.
It appeared on 5 of the different lists that we looked at, and it as far as the lists that were submitted, it appeared on 19 of the 44. So a decent number there. Mike, any thoughts on Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
It was at a time where animation was like, oh, look, live action's been doing this for decades. Let's have animation get in on late night. Let's see what animation can do with late night. And let's do it with yes.
I was going to say it is more entertaining than what we're getting now, though.
Well, yeah. Duh. Of course. Like, literal. Look, I just shared the Star Wars Fallon thing from years ago. That's more entertaining than what we're getting now. Anyway, the point is, at the time when Cartoon Network was just kind of getting their feet wet in things in the 90s, and again, this is the 90s, folks. The 90s had its own groove. The 90s was doing so many different things to experiment to figure out what the 90s wanted to be. And this was just one of those things, and putting 60s and 70s Hanna-Barbera characters in the 90s on late night, especially Space Ghost. Like, wow, okay, who's gonna put that guy on late night? like wow, cool. Thank God it wasn't Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt.
Well, he still moved up. He still moved up 2 spaces this time
No,
from the last list.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. I love Space Ghost. It's awesome.
Okay, so it seems like we're consistent. 76 15 years ago, 74 this time around. I guess that's probably where it belongs. So let's see what comes after it.
73.
All right, that was fun last time trying to get DJ to guess. So I'm going to open it up for anybody on this one. So for number 73, here's my little diatribe on this one. Animation purists may argue it belongs higher due to its technical brilliance. Others may rank it lower because it doesn't meet modern expectations of storytelling, a near perfect example of visual storytelling and timing, proving animation can thrive without dialogue. Its reliance on music, expression, and pacing makes it universally accessible across cultures and generations. DJ?
Ooh, maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to say Primal?
Nope. It is going to be an older show. We're going to go all the way back to 1969, our second trip to the 60s this time. Debuted on NBC back in this time period. Mike or Steve?
I know what it is.
Tom and Jerry?
Nope.
No, it's not Tom and Jerry.
The Pink Panther?
It is the Pink Panther show coming in here at number 73. I had this one ranked 31, actually, because I do put a lot of emphasis on the historical parts. I was a history teacher, or a history major and a history teacher, so I guess that's what's coming out there. It fell, though, quite a bit from last time. Last time, 15 years ago, we had it ranked 18 spots higher. So this time it's all the way down at 73. I'm happy it still stayed on the countdown. So I'm not going to complain too much. Mike, what do you think about the Pink Panther show?
How many lists was it on?
It was on 20 of the 44.
Wow.
Was it on my list? I think
I don't know.
I had it at 72, as a matter of fact. So
that was
you, DJ.
Look at you. You're pulling Steve guesses out of your ass over there.
I'm pretty good. All right. I have my vitamins.
Yeah. No, I love had your vitamins. Oh boy. I love the Pink Panther. I love everything about the show. It's so fun. I especially love the ant and the aardvark. They're hilarious. Absolutely love that. And yeah, no, absolutely love it. I do wish it was higher, though. I really do think it's at least top 50, maybe 48, 47, something like that.
Steve, agree or disagree?
I think it deserves to be on the list. I think it's nice that it still showed up, even though it's higher up. It just means that the caliber of what's coming is going to be that much greater compared to the previous list. It's not too big of a change,
right?
But it also has spawned a lot of different marketing materials and animated and other things that have kind of had plays off of it with live action stuff. So
Yeah.
I think it deserves it.
DJ, you only missed it by one spot, so I'm assuming you think it's pretty well placed.
This was on TNT right after Monty Python's Flying Circus back when I first saw this show. And then they made movies about it. And I was like, where's the Pink Panther going to show up? This found this Detective Clouseau guy. Where's the Pink Panther? They lied to me. But no, I remember Pink Panther. It was good. It was one of those clever sight gag stuff. Right. Where you can, like you were just describing, where you can tell a story without any dialogue. I mean, a lot of Tom and Jerry and Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote that works too. But I think this was a little bit more clever. I wouldn't say highbrow. I'd say clever in some of the stuff they were doing.
Yeah,
I think he used music in a little bit more than those other ones did too.
And he's a chain smoking cartoon, guys. Come on, how many chain smoking cartoons do we got here?
I think there is something to be said, though, that by doing that, it does definitely make it more accessible across languages, cultures, generations, and things of that nature, because you're not relying on any of that to move the narrative, so to speak. So I could see that, being something that would work on an international basis as well. So we've spent some time in the past. Let's see if we continue that trend or not with our next entry.
72.
Huckleberry speaking. Officer Huckleberry. Sir Huckleberry Hound is here.
So you guys might not be having fun getting put on the spot, but I'm finding this fun, so I'm going to stick with it for a little while. So our number 72, I'm going to read a couple things about it. This is, like I talked about in the intro here, a classic case of historical importance versus modern watchability. It can feel slow and dated. The humor doesn't always translate to modern audiences, but this show would be a turning point in animation history. It's the first animated series to win an Emmy, and it helped legitimize television animation as a serious medium. Also played a major role in shifting animation from theatrical shorts to TV-first content. This series debuted in 1958. Anybody have a guess?
Flintstones?
Nope.
50s, very old.
Popeye the Sailor Man?
Nope, it is from Hanna-Barbera.
Ooh.
Is it Yogi Bear?
Came before Yogi Bear, kind of.
Or
Yogi Bear was introduced through it, I think.
Huckleberry Hound?
Yes, the Huckleberry Hound show here at number 72. So beat the Pink Panther show by 3 points. But yeah, it was the first animated series to win an Emmy, and definitely a turning point in animation history. But like we said, as far as quality goes or modern watchability, I guess it depends. If you have, like, I know for me and Mike, like, we can watch it probably no problem, but I don't know if you show it to a younger audience if it works or not. Steve, we'll start with you this time. Huckleberry Hound show, I had it ranked at 30. I had it 30 and I had Pink Panther 31, and they're coming right next to each other here at 73 and 72. What do you think of Huckleberry, Steve?
I had this in my top 100, so I'm pleasantly surprised that it's here. And it's enjoyable, and it is a staple of old animation.
Right.
Like a lot of the tone of the shows that would come out after took it from this show alone, and it wasn't until much later that there was another evolution in animation. It
is it's out of the shows that made our top 100 15 years ago that also made it this time around. For today's episode, it's the biggest climber. It was 94th 15 years ago, and it's climbed all the way up to 72nd. So even though it didn't hit 30th like I had it ranked, I am happy that it climbed 22 spots. Mike, what do you think about Huckleberry Hound?
Oh, my darling. No, I can't do that. Save my life. There you go. That's it right there. Yeah, good old Clementine. I love Huckleberry Hound. Once again, it just those classic Hanna-Barbera characters just stand the test of time. And was it the Steely Blue-Eyed Stranger or whatever he calls himself in several of the things? Just absolutely love it. Just so good. All the adventures he got to go on was so fun. And again, it's a now I know I know these are two Hanna-Barbera characters, but I don't remember if he goes up against them or if it's somebody else in the Hanna-Barbera. Doesn't he go up against the Crows, Heckle and Jekyll?
I
That's a
don't
good
know.
question.
I don't know if they ever did or not.
I can't remember.
I'd have to go back through some of the compilation shows and things of that nature to see.
Yeah.
But
But anyway, just yeah, Huckleberry is awesome. Huckleberry rules.
So, DJ, we ended last week's episode with the Woody Woodpecker show, and now we've started off and we've had Underdog, the Pink Panther show, and the Huckleberry Hound show. Are you surprised at this foursome of kind of classic shows, or do you think they're all deserving? And what does it mean for the rest of the countdown?
For me, for Huckleberry Hound, I did watch it, but I mean, he didn't really rise into my estimation of cartoon characters until like he came back, like Laugh Olympics and stuff like that. So that's when I liked him. His own original stuff wasn't like, oh, I love this show. It's more like, oh, I like this character. But then when he was on like Laugh Olympics, I was like, oh, this guy's great. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess we're kind of in the classics territory. We're dealing with the importance more than we're dealing with the this is a fantastic show. This is more of a, this show makes me feel, this is the feel good one for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like it. All right, let's see where we go to next.
71.
Excellent. So you're not going to talk. Then how about a dip in my lava jacuzzi? Look at his smug face. You're loving this, aren't you? Eat hot lava, maximum.
So back at 74, I don't know if I remember mentioning it or not, but with Space Ghost, we had our first entry in the entire top 100 so far. That was more of that adult comedy genre. So it took us, 27 shows to get to our first one. We're going to go back there here for number 71. So it only took 3 more picks to get to our second. This one is from the 2000s, our first entry in the 2000s of this episode. We're going to 2005 specifically for an Adult Swim show here. Coming in at number 71 is Robot Chicken. So Robot Chicken, the rapid fire pop culture parody with stop motion, self-awareness, reference-heavy humor. Now, some would say that the show can be inconsistent. Some sketches land, others miss. Comedic influence can't be denied. DJ, you laughed first. So Robot Chicken, what do you think?
In terms of like my own show that I'm on with my 2 co-hosts, I can't like not give credit to Robot Chicken because we write sketches on our show, and I gain appreciation on how hard that is. And they're doing it throughout their show. We do like 2, they do like 17. So it's like, yeah, and some of them, when they land, the jokes that land kill. Like there's one that will stay with me forever. It is the clown that's jumping out of the plane, and he opens the parachute and there's nothing in there, and he goes, "Happy birthday, Billy," because he knows he's gonna land and die in a birthday. For some reason, that one sticks with me forever. So the Robot Chicken, in terms of claymation, which is, I mean, we seen that on what's the MTV when they had to fight the
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
So the claymation wasn't like new to me, but just the pop culture references stuff that they were doing on there with the Star Wars and stuff like that. And I think I had a little brief comeback a couple years back. I can't remember. So yeah, I love Robot Chicken. In terms of, when you're doing sketch comedy, some of them are going to hit, some of them are going to land some of them are going to hit, and some of them are going to bomb. The ones that hit, oh man, they're great. So yeah, I love Robot Chicken. Never going to get a bad word said from me.
It has gotten over 27 award nominations and wins along the way. This was not on our list 15 years ago. 15 years ago, we had it at 134th. So it's climbed quite a bit to make it up to number 71. Steve, Robot Chicken warranted in our top 100 this time around, even though it wasn't last time. What do you think?
100%. This is one of those staples of that Adult Swim Cartoon Network era. And honestly, if it wasn't here, I would have to question it a little bit, because there's a lot of that adult humor, but it's playing in the realm of nostalgia and things that we all understand and, poke fun at. Kind of like DJ said, like, they do the skits, but then Robot Chicken does it like tenfold. And so like one of my favorite clips are the ones with, David Kaye doing Beast Megatron throwing the panda in the lava.
Oh god,
And
so good.
he's like, and that is a maximal, and throws it in, and it's a real panda. And or Optimus Prime having gonorrhea or whatever, and just so there were so many different clips, between all of that, or selling Soundwave on eBay, and I don't know. I find a lot of the different clips, even if they're not Transformers related, to be very funny, and not all of them are enjoyable, but overall, like I feel like this show is great. Plus, if possible, to get the original voice actors back for some of these characters, or if not,
or Camel
they
and
just,
stuff like that.
yeah, or Seth just does it.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it's such a great show.
Mike, agree, disagree?
Yeah, I agree.
I had this one ranked 98, and it came in here at number 71, so I think it's warranted. I think it was one of those that didn't make the cut last time around that you could have questioned, so I'm glad that we made its way into our list this time. So, Mike, I got a question for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, DJ. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying I recently had to watch a couple, I had to go to YouTube, the thing called YouTube, and look up some of them because we had to do a Star Wars show, and I was like writing a sketch, and I was like, did they do this on Robot Chicken? And I had to make sure because they did a crap load of Star Wars sketches with, and I remember the one where it's what Mark, it's from Empire Strikes Back, and Vader's explaining the plot. Like, I'm your father, and then you're married to your sister, and then Mark Hamill's like, well, if you're not going to take this seriously, I'm out of here. And he just jumps up the face.
Yeah.
I was okay.
Well, you're talking about, like 15, 16, 17 skits per episode. It has aired over 220 episodes, I think, or something like that. So
yeah, man, it's crazy.
It's covered a lot of ground.
So much stuff. It's common. It's essentially SNL for nerds. You look at it, a claymation
100%.
SNL for nerds. So yeah,
like it. Mike, my question to you is, where haven't we been yet this time around? Time period
Anywhere
wise.
before 1980.
See where we go next.
70.
This is indeed a grand occasion.
So we've been in the 60s and the 50s. We've been in the 90s. We've been in the 2000s. One decade that hasn't been breached yet this episode, 1980s.
Yep.
So this show represents one of the earliest examples of global animated franchising done at scale. It helped prove animation could drive massive merchandising and worldwide recognition. The show's simplicity also made it accessible to a wide audience, contributing to its longevity and reach. Maybe formulaic and repetitive, maybe limited narrative growth, but some will argue that its cultural reach alone justifies it to be even higher. Any guesses on this one? I don't think you guys are going to get it.
there's a bunch of these.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Mike, I was just about to say He-Man.
Yep.
An even earlier example of massive merchandising and global animated franchising done at scale. We're talking about 1981's Smurfs.
Really?
Smurfs from Hanna-Barbera, aired on NBC, 256 episodes. I think it aired almost every year of the 1980s. It appeared in 6 of the 9 lists that we used to compile our nominees. It appeared on 22 of our 44 lists. It did fall 18 spots from where we had it last time around, though. Last time we had it at, still in this episode, but we had it around the 52 mark, and it's coming in here at 70. Mike, Smurfs warranted to be in our top 100 or not?
If you choke a Smurf, what color does it turn?
Wow, we went straight there. Okay.
Right to it. We have to always make it sexual, Mike. Come on.
No. Seriously, if you choke a Smurf, what color does it turn?
Purple?
Green.
That's
Steve
it?
wins.
Yeah.
I was joking. I didn't even
I was going to say purple too.
They choked a Smurf.
I
Did this
literally
happen
was
on Robot
joking.
Chicken?
Did this happen on Robot Chicken?
Was this on the
Are we getting
animated
our shows
series?
compared?
No. Turns green.
Mike, have you choked a Smurf? Have you choked a Smurf?
Long time ago. Anyway.
This is going to be like a GeekCast, like the dark side of the GeekCast Radio Network. It's going to be like one of those documentaries that show like
It's a perfect clip though. It's like
GeekCast Radio after. Yeah.
After dark.
Yeah. TF2 and Mike, Smurf Choker, news at 11.
Smurf Choker is a hell of a title.
You're writing your own obituary, Mike.
That's right. Well, I've been doing it for the last 17 years. Anyway,
they call him in for special occasion. I'm the Smurf Joker. You guys I need the
Someone
Smurf
call the
Joker runner.
Smurf Joker. Who are you gonna call?
Smurf
Anyway.
Joker.
Smurf Jokers.
okay, Steve. We now have all of the YouTube clips we now need for the YouTube
It's all
channel.
done. We're done. Wrap it up.
No, I don't know. I liked Smurfs for about a half a second, and it was no, seriously. When I was a kid,
He is a Snorks fan, so you gotta
I'm
forgive
with
him
him. I'm a Snorks fan.
now you spoiled it. Why are you gonna spoil my fun?
because I
You
know you.
jackass! You
I
jackass!
think this goes against the rules that we signed coming here.
Yeah, exactly.
Terms
You
of
jackass! You're fired.
Steve, thoughts on Smurfs?
Wait, I'm not even finished yet.
I mean, you
So
said you're a
anyway-
Smurf Joker and they turn green. I mean, I think that's all we need to know.
We cut your mic.
You assholes.
My favorite thing of Smurfs showing up is in the movie Pixels, where
Oh
Michelle
my
Monaghan
God.
takes
Oh
him
my
out with a
God.
light cannon.
What a reach.
Oh my God.
Holy
Oh.
God.
I like how violent everybody gets. Like Smurfs are like the most non-violent things in the.
I
It's like
just
Yeah,
watched
I
it.
think one thing, if I
I
was a
just-
Smurf and I was
I
in
just
Pixels, I'd
watched
want
it.
somebody to choke me out. Please.
like the
Give me
most
the-
family, the most
Aw.
family-friendly cartoon in maybe history, and we're choking them, we're blowing them away. I like it.
I don't mind the show. I think that it deserves to be on there, but I feel like it gets super repetitive and annoying the more you watch it. And I feel like it's got a limited shelf life. Same thing with Snorks. It's the same thing and just underwater. Like I
No,
find them
it's
both
not,
How
no.
dare
whatever.
you, sir.
I find them both highly annoying.
I think for me, it's the fact that like when I think of a show that encapsulated like the entire '80s, like this would be in like a top 10 probably, if not like top 5 of
I
shows
think
that
they
really
focused on the
represented
wrong character in Smurfs. It was Gargamel that was such an. You could have done a series called Gargamel, and I would have been in because I want to know everything about this guy's life. Even the Hank Azaria version of Gargamel was good.
It is genius from a mass merchandising standpoint that they had like the sheer number of like the types of Smurfs had to be in the hundreds, right? Like there was literally hundreds of them. You could have collected like little figurines for like Jokey Smurf and Smiley. It's like the Care Bears, right? It's like every Smurf had a different like persona. So like
Care
they
Bears
did
had superpowers, man. They had powers.
I mean,
Okay,
Jokey
so
Smurf tells jokes.
Yeah, exactly. So being serious for 2 seconds
If you
here.
say anything about Smurfette, I'm cutting your mic again.
That's DJ's job. He's the one
My
that would.
job.
Yeah, that's on him. No,
That's my
so
fan.
being all serious for half a second here. This coming in at number 70, and for all of its everything that it did in the 80s, the merchandising and the cartoon and the movies and everything else. The funny thing is that a couple of years ago, I interviewed someone, Michael Osiello, who was putting out a movie at the time about his life. He actually is one of, if not the biggest Smurf collector that
Really?
I've ever known. Not kidding.
Wow.
He actually founded years and years ago. He doesn't work there now, but he founded TVline.com.
Wow.
Yeah. What's the name of the movie? Spoiler alert is the name of the movie. But when I interviewed him and I was preparing for the interview and everything else, and he was telling me, asked me about the Smurf collection that I have and this, that, and the other thing and everything else. I was like, oh, really cool, very cool, and whatever else. So yeah, no, it's I mean, I liked, like I said at the beginning of this, before we started doing all the joking, whatever else, I liked Smurfs for a number of years. I thought it was a cool cartoon when I was a kid. And then when Snorks came along, I just felt that Snorks at the time when I was a kid was a cooler, more interesting story. And besides, it had Michael Bell as the lead character. It basically had Prowl underwater.
And I'll give
You're
you that.
telling everybody that you were dating Smurfs, and then you just kick
No,
Smurfs. to the
that's
curb.
not.
The
Well, at
new
first he said he liked them for
thing
half a second.
happened to be wet.
The
and
problem is we
underwater.
needed more Gargamel.
That's true.
And
Oh,
Azrael.
hell no. Hell
Yes,
no.
we did.
Hell no.
Papa Smurf was like the precursor to Optimus Prime. Like, come on.
What-
Yeah,
so first
I'll give you that too. But
slow
like the
down.
rest of them, I was like,
Slow down.
Papa Smurf was essentially a pimp.
He was a pimp.
And
He
somebody
pimped
got
out
Mike.
Smurfette. Look, we're gonna go down a Smurf rabbit hole, and I think that even sounds sexual. So why don't we just go on to the next one?
I agree.
Exactly.
Okay, I know this is not going to happen, but man, if Stripperella is number 69, I'm just going to crack.
Smurf should have been
Bike.
number 69 at this point.
All right.
69.
What is this place? You might call it my throne room, Optimus Primal.
All right, coming in at 69. Why is that the number that had to come after this last conversation? That's my question. There's one a channel that comes to mind that we have not seen a single show from
MTV
so far. Which is surprising to me. And we have not had we've had 100 through 70. No cartoons that debuted on Fox so far.
Oh,
Or
wow.
Fox Kids, which is somewhat surprising to me. I think at least some of the panel might be happy about this one. I think the argument for some is that it's bold and ahead of its time, thematically ambitious as far as a franchise cartoon, like one of the most thematically ambitious franchise cartoons ever. Like it tackles philosophy, identity, environmentalism, in ways rarely seen in toy-based animation. It pushed the boundaries of what a franchise show could attempt narratively, although there are some fans of the franchise that don't like it for a lot of different reasons. We'll have to get into where we all fall on this one. It did not make the countdown last time. It missed it by 6 spots last time, and it has found its way to number 69. We're talking about 1999's Beast Machines.
Ah.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
That is not what I thought either, but
I thought it was going Captain Planet there. I thought
So a little more thematically maybe ambitious than Captain Planet even, I think, with some of the philosophizing they do on Beast Machines. But it appeared on 14 of the 44 lists, so not as many as the ones we've seen beforehand, but those that ranked it fairly high. And obviously it went from 106 all the way up to 69. So nothing fancy for you, Mike, on the numbering there, but what do you think of Beast Machines?
Love Beast Machines. It is an amazing story. It's an interesting story. It is some of the best CGI for the time in 1999. At the time, I heard that smirk, DJ.
If you could hear a smirk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't choke
Sorry,
it.
I heard Smurf.
I said smirk.
Okay.
What is so cool about Beast Machines to me and about Beast Wars itself, and I'm doing this on purpose, the character of Shidor. You look at the character of Shidor from Beast Wars all the way up to Beast Machines, is how that kid grew up. The evolution of that character. By the time we get to Beast Machines, he is a full-on adult, and he just has to deal with everything he has to deal with. And I just absolutely love it. I love what Ian James Corlett did with the character as far as the voice goes. And oh boy, Megatron, he gonna lose his head.
We had Transformers Prime last episode. Now we get Beast Machines. Steve, what do you think of our Transformers representation so far in the countdown?
I call it my throne room, OptimusSolo. Well.
Yeah, so I'm honestly surprised that it made it on the list, considering all the other Transformers shows that were available. It did tackle a lot of big topics and a lot of like different character developments. It also kind of alienated the franchise, and it was unsellable overseas, which is why they went back to like Robots in Disguise, and then started with the Armada, Energon, and Cybertron, and then kind of snowballed back into the G1 era because it didn't quite land as well. And I think there was really, I hated the transformations, I hated the toys, but I liked what they did of putting them back on Cybertron, having Megatron take over, having the Viacons, having, you know, the ragtag Maximals, although I wish that some of them weren't a part of the group. Specifically Night Scream. But yeah, I'm happy that it's on the list this go around.
I know originally when I first watched it, as whatever age I was when I first watched it, I actually liked Beast Machines more than Beast Wars. Like, I'm not saying that that's still the case, but I know originally, like, I gravitated towards some of what it was doing and what it was going for, and I kind of liked it. I am surprised that it made the list a little bit. DJ, do you think Beast Machines and Transformers Prime, the two Transformers shows we've seen so far, are they both top 100 worthy, or is this showing a little bit of a bias?
I was more of Beast Wars, so Beast Machines I think was right as I was stepping away from Transformers. So I don't even. I get it. To me, Transformers is just me anyway. One humongous brand. So
Yep.
it's kind of split off, and like this is kind of the one that I kind of never got to get into so hard, so much. If you have that name, Transformers, anything, you're gonna get some votes. So I'm not put it this way. I'm not surprised it's on the list. So yeah.
Well, just really quickly, I found my list, my spreadsheet, spreadsheets. I had it at number 9.
Oh, well, there you go. You're the reason.
You are the reason.
I had it at 24 because I would not have put that in my top 10. I liked it, I enjoyed it, but there were so many other shows I wanted to represent in the top 10 that were more deserving. And if I'm going to pick one Transformers show in my top 10, we all know what it's going to be.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that's
yeah,
fine.
Obligated to do this, okay?
But my children even ranked it
Nice.
in the 20s.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I am a big fan of Beast Machines. I didn't quite have room for it in my top 100 just because I had already had some other franchise-related shows that were in there, so it didn't quite make the cut for me. But I'm not necessarily mad at it. That means that there's only, we've seen a little of every time period so far except for one. So let's go ahead and get our first from that time period next.
68.
Hey, Ice King!
Yes, Finn?
Stop hurting that ant, you old bag, or you're gonna get it!
You want some of this too? Huh?
That time period that I'm talking about is the 2010s to present. We haven't had one of those yet today, so let's break that now and go with a Cartoon Network show from 2010 itself. A lot of people will say this is significant, or will argue this is significantly too low, and it needs to be much higher. Some would say this is one of the most important animated shows ever. Others would say its early randomness tonal shifts make it inconsistent and hard to access for some viewers. May have reshaped modern animation. We'll see. I'm interested to see what you guys think. From Cartoon Network 2010, we're talking about Adventure Time at number 68. It obviously was not ranked last time since it didn't exist. DJ, what do you think? It's been nominated or won over 33 awards for various things like Emmys and etc. Adventure Time coming in at 68. Will we get some hate for this, or do you think it's right?
It's going to be hate from me. I'm not an Adventure Time fan. I'm a regular show guy.
Very good.
I'm aware of Adventure Time. Not my cup of tea. That's kind of leaning into the zany for me. But again, I always I hear it a lot, and people are telling me, "Oh yeah, Adventure Time is great." And I sat down and tried to watch it a couple times. I'm like, yeah. Sometimes people like oysters, and sometimes people don't like oysters, and I don't like oysters. But I understand oysters. Okay, I get it. I understand the the appeal of oysters. I just would not put them with a steak anytime soon. So yes, I get Adventure Time. I just wouldn't pick Adventure Time. I don't think he's even on my list. I believe I'm looking at my list now. I do not see it anywhere on there. So no.
Right, Steve. Some say it opened the door for creator-driven storytelling and influenced an entire generation of shows. Are we just the wrong age group for this, or what do you think, Steve?
I did not like this show at all. I tried watching, and again, this is where I went through shows I'd never seen before, watched multiple episodes. This was one I was like, what the heck am I watching?
Dream.
I was like, do I need to be drinking for this? Do I need to, do I need to be on acid? Like, what is it like here? Because it seems like most of the shows between 2010 and like the early 2020s of Cartoon Network stuff had this kind of animation and this weird storytelling, and it was really strange. And I find it's the modern day Nickelodeon for me with Cartoon Network, because around that time, Nickelodeon shifted to better animation. So I will say that I don't like it. I'm not the group that this is geared towards, but I also I'm not a fan of this type of humor writing or animation style.
We aren't high enough. We're just not high enough.
Yeah.
Mike, any last thoughts on Adventure Time before we move on?
Can I go back in time and take Neon Genesis and move that up to here and put Adventure Time at 107, please?
I would like that trade to go through, please.
Yes, I vote for that as well.
I think it worked for our panel. I don't know if it would work for the audience out there.
Adventure Time, just like, I don't know, like, and what Steven and DJ are saying about, like, I don't even think alcohol or drugs would help you watching this show. Like, I really don't think, like, I'm not a, like, I don't know. I really don't think it would, like, it's just too out there for me. Like, I've seen,
You broke Mike.
I've seen multiple,
It'll be okay, Mike.
I doom scroll Instagram a lot. I've seen regular show clips. I've seen Adventure Time clips. I think Jake the dog does something with bacon pancakes or something. I don't know. That's the most recent thing I've seen. I don't know. It's a thing. I'll send it to you guys later. I think that's probably the best, most interesting thing about that show that I've ever seen. But it doesn't make me actually want to like, even all the homework and research we've done before we even set out to do this project this time. It still did not want or have no.
Mike's broken. Someone give him some hot chocolate, put him in the corner, and put some snorks on, and we will try to get him back into a good place.
It was that animation style though from the 2010 onward for a while, because like you get Bob's Burgers and a lot of the other things that kind of had that aesthetic.
Although Bob's Burgers had writing though. They had story structure.
That's what I will give you on that, is that it does have writing and it does look like normal people for the most part.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Not just crappy
comparatively to this.
Yeah.
Definitely. It did take us 10 spots from our last modern episode or show. We had number 78, we had Invincible, and then it took us all the way to 68 to get Adventure Time. We're not going to have to wait very long for our next one because it's coming up right now.
67.
The Force is strong with you, Ezra. Come with us.
What part of Blast Them did you not understand?
It's over, Jedi.
Number 67, we're going to stay in the modern time period, this time from a show from 2014. Aired on Disney or some sort of Disney, whether it be streaming or the channel or whatever you want to say. I think it was Disney XD actually, originally. Second time we've reached this franchise. We had way back when, number 97, we had Star Wars Clone Wars from 2003. And here we go with number 67, Star Wars Rebels. Here at number 67. So our second entry into the Star Wars universe. It's been nominated for 11 different awards, and it was ranked by 16 folks. Obviously didn't appear on our last countdown since it didn't exist. DJ, what do you think of Star Wars Rebels?
Rebels has good moments in it, and it has good characters in it. To me, when it comes to the animation for Star Wars, it's not as high as some things like Jenna Tartakovsky's Clone Wars series or even the regular Clone Wars series. But I like what they did with the Maul, Ezra Bridger stuff. I think there was a moment in that show, and this is gonna kind of seem like a tangent, but it's not. There was a movie called The Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas, and it was like in the John Wick universe. And I'm watching the movie, and I go, John Wick better not show up in this movie, because if he gets bodied by the ballerina, I'm gonna be very upset. And John Wick shows up, and if you haven't seen the ballerina tries to fight John Wick. John Wick is like, I could kill you in like 15 different ways. And he shows her, I'm not going to do it, but I could kill you in 15 different ways. They didn't nerf John Wick. When I'm watching Rebels and Darth Vader shows up, I'm like, if Vader gets touched at any moment, if he even gets like like has trouble, I'm gonna get upset. And then there was Ezra and Kanan. Is it Kanan? Yeah, they were
Yeah.
fighting. They were fighting him, and Vader wasn't even like breaking a sweat.
He didn't
And I was
break
like,
a
okay,
sweat. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, thank you. That's all I want. When Vader showed up, I was like, he better destroy these two. So yes, so there are moments in Rebels that I like, and there's some good stuff in Rebels that I like. There's some, I think it didn't get its footing to probably the second season. You can say that about every show. A lot of Star Trek Next Generation. So yeah, when it got its footing and when it hit hard, I did like some stuff, but I got better moments out of other Star Wars stuff. But I can see this. I would probably have Clone Wars a little bit higher. But yeah, I get it. I get it.
So it's interesting because in my write-up that I didn't share, part of this was it starts slower and can be underrated due to its later season strength. So that was part of my synopsis there. Mike, what do you think of Star Wars Rebels?
Order 67 doesn't sound the same as Order 66.
Oh my God, you and your numbers. Missed it by that much. Is it top 100 worthy or not?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Steve, what do you think?
Oh, definitely top 100 worthy. I agree too with the panel that the first season's a little rough to get into, but once you get past that, it's pretty decent. And then digging into the Jedi Sith lore, and then getting to deal with more of the continuation of the Clone Wars and some of that, and the end of Maul finally, with a really fast ending for him.
Yeah, perfect ending. Have you ever heard?
It was perfect.
But Sam Witwer breaks it down how that fight happened.
I love Sam. Love Sam. Sam rocks.
He understands Star Wars, and I feel like
that guy should be way higher in the pecking order of creative than most people who are in charge of Star Wars. Because Sam Witwer gets it.
He totally gets it, and that's why he's been so engrossed in the entire mythos and playing Maul and all these other characters. He understands the mentality behind them.
Yeah,
it's the character, man.
I love the clip. I love the clip of the interview where he's talking to whoever he's talking to, and he tells the story of Dave Filoni or whatever else. He goes, we need to do that scene again. And Filoni's like, what? Why? Well, because he met Shmi already.
Right.
And Ashley turns to him and she goes, I've never seen anyone out geek Dave Filoni.
Yeah, man.
No, it's so good. But no, Sam, I literally just saw him do a clip where he's talking about he's revealing the new Maul Funko Pops because of Maul Shadow Lord. He's so awesome. He rules.
Maul Shadow Lord is I'm watching the episodes and I'm just like waiting for it to stink. I'm on episode 8 and I'm like,
it doesn't stink.
Doesn't stink yet. Because Sam Witwer is probably like nerding them out. He's essentially animation Henry Cavill, where he's like, no. This would happen. Not that would happen. This would happen. I'm like, need more of those guys in charge of Star Wars.
100%. And
apparently that means Sam Witwer came in at number 67 here.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a big part of Rebels, though. He's a big part of the Rebel.
He's a big part of Star Wars, though. He's played Palpatine. He's played Star Killer, and he's played Darth Maul.
He's in Andor too. He's in the episode where he's on the Miami Beach planet. And he's in one of the desert troopers or whatever. So he's ingrained.
Yes, he is.
So we had the 2003 Clone Wars at 97. We have Rebels here at 67. We'll have to see if and when we see anything else from the Star Wars franchise. But until then, let's see what comes up next.
66.
Run, Haji! Don't let him get away! I just told him to go home.
Well, we have a rule on the show here. We can't go 5 reveals without going back into the pre-1980s time period. So let's go there one more time. This show introduced a cinematic, serious tone to TV animation, influencing action-adventure storytelling for decades. It brought a sense of realism and danger that was rare for its time. Some aspects, however, have not aged well, particularly cultural representation and pacing. Some will elevate it for genre influence, while others may rank it lower due to dated elements. This show came out in 1964 from Hanna-Barbera and debuted on ABC. Any guesses?
64.
Not the Flintstones, right?
Action adventure
No.
storytelling.
Action adventure storytelling. Ooh.
Sense of realism and danger that was rare for
Scooby-Doo.
1960s.
Scooby-Doo was
Johnny
69. Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest from
Johnny
1964. 1964 release date, 1966 in our countdown. It is another climber. It was actually at number 74 15 years ago. So it's climbed 8 spots in 15 years. Mike, what do you think of Johnny Quest?
I liked it up to a certain point, and then I eventually moved away from it. It was okay. I think I liked the New Adventures of Johnny Quest, which came
Yeah.
later.
Great song too.
Yeah.
Great. Or
Yeah.
theme anyway.
Yeah, theme song. Yeah.
Is that all, Mike?
Bandit's the best dog ever.
All right. DJ,
Anyway.
Johnny Quest, does it get points for being influential in like the action adventure, seriousness, realism, danger for, that we hadn't seen yet in 1964?
Johnny Quest is influential because it created a spin-off remake spoof of it that may be one of the greatest cartoon shows of all time, which I won't mention. And also, isn't it weird? They've never done a live action version of this show. It seems
Don't
like
give them ideas.
Let's say in a magical world where there's people who care about writing, you could do something really fun with this show if you wanted to. I'm just surprised with all the stuff they're milking. We've had 2 Smurf movies, but we haven't had a Johnny Quest movie. What's going on here?
Had Speed Racer. Why not Johnny Quest?
And a Speed Racer movie. What's going on?
Steve, any thoughts on Johnny Quest being top 100 worthy?
Well, I find it funny because the original show has only 1 season of 26 episodes, and then the New Adventures only has 13, which came out in the 80s. And so it's kind of funny that it's ranked so high, and yet it has so few seasons.
Yeah, I think it's probably something with that genre influence. I think that some folks think from, and a little bit of that classic, maybe foundational argument that you could have, because it definitely did not have a long staying power. It was on 5 of the 9 lists we looked at across the board. So it's interesting, and it's been in our top 100 both times, 15 years ago and this time. So seems to be some consensus. I had it ranked closer to the 80s on my list. I think. So I don't know. I think the argument can be made either way on this one. That's one of those that's kind of like that borderline, like maybe over time as more and more animated series like happen, this one falls at some point. But this time, in the last 15 years, it gained 8 spots. So it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see where we go next.
65.
Whether you're getting physical, getting ahead, or just getting through the day,
The chips are down. Ron Stoppable takes charge.
For the second time today, we're going into the 2000s, and we're going to go to a Disney-related cartoon here that was not ranked last time. It was 110th last time, but made it up all the way to number 65 this time around. Strong, capable female leads in action animation. Help expand representation in the genre, also balance humor, action, and character relationships in a way that appealed to a broad audience. Some may argue that it's solid but not groundbreaking enough to rank this high. Some say its cultural impact and female representation gives it enough to be here. Anybody a guess from 2002 Disney show with a female-centric lead?
Holy Spice?
Close. We're talking about Kim Possible.
Oh, yeah.
Kim Possible here at number 65. It's climbed from 110th to 65. DJ, is it top 100 worthy?
The amount of time my sister forced me to watch this show, yes, I'd probably. This was like my sister is like 13 years younger than me, so I had to I was conscious had to go back and watch these shows that I was too old to watching her watch it, and her making me watch it. And it was Kim Possible and Totally Spies. That's why I mixed them up, because there was like the block. And just watching that influence on her as a woman now, young girl at the time. Yeah, there wasn't a really show like Kim Possible. And I didn't think it was the greatest show ever, but I was like, you know what? If I was a little girl and this show came on, I would freaking love this show. It's fantastic, and the characters are fun, and it's doesn't take itself uber seriously. So I think I would say gender, but I guess every generation and then gender kind of needs a show like this to say, hey, this is good. I like this. I can, and first off, you go to any Comic Con or any kind of con, you're going to see about 85 Kim Possible cosplayers anyway. So
Like
it's
that
influential.
generation's She-Ra, right? Like
Exactly. See, if I had to put She-Ra up against this, I'm leaning Kim Possible because She-Ra
100%.
was not as as clever as this.
Right.
No.
15 different award nominations. Steve, what do you think of its top 100 worthiness?
I definitely think it's top 100 worthy. One, it has multiple seasons. It even spawned a live action film on Disney. And you know, it was genuinely entertaining for what it was. Like I didn't go, oh, that's a girl cartoon. You know, it was like, oh, this is interesting because you had Will Friedle, you had a lot of the goofy antics, you had just, you know, your normal teenage kind of jokes that are funny in it. So I feel like it was kind of relatable, but it was also entertaining.
Mike, any thoughts on Kim Possible?
You got Kim Possible, she can do anything. You got Ron Stoppable, who can't do anything at all. Like Steve mentioned, Will Friedle is the voice of Ron Stoppable. You got Christy Carlson Romano as the voice of Kim, and the villains in this show. You've got I forget what the villain's name is, but you got Patton Oswalt as the voice of one of the villains. You've got Ricardo Montalban as Senor Senior. You've got Khan as one of the major villains. This show is amazing. 4 seasons, 2 animated movies. Like Steve mentioned, the live action movie, which honestly wasn't that great. But the animated stuff is amazing. Absolutely love Kim Possible. This is so awesome. Such a great show. This is just absolutely awesome. And yeah, it was so cool. I personally think it should be at least 15 spots higher than where it is right now.
I'm going to hold my breath on that because I don't know what's coming, and there's probably
I
some
don't
I'd
care
rather
what's
have
coming.
Yeah,
I probably would have.
This should easily be number 50.
I would have argued for it to be in last episode, honestly. I think it's worthy. I think it's worthy, but I can see it much more in the 76 to 99 range or something like that. But
You need your head examined.
Fair enough. That's not.
I mean, it should have been like, I would argue that it should be swapped with Dragon Ball in the sense that, and I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, shut up. I'll edit you out. But Dragon Ball is much more influential than Kim Possible. So I
would get behind that. I can make it. Steve and I will make our own trade. As far as that goes. So, all right, we're going to stick with Disney, but we're going to once again go to a show from the last 15 years next.
64.
Guys, you hear something?
Dude, I don't know, man.
This is it. This is it. What was that noise then? I heard a monster noise.
Sweet. Beaver with a chainsaw.
Right at number 64. Another Disney Channel show. This one from 2012. We're going with Gravity Falls for number 64. It's got 16 award nominations or wins. It was on 4 of the 9 lists we looked at. 17 people ranked it. Obviously, it didn't exist last time around, so it's a newcomer to the countdown. Gravity Falls at number 64. Some say it's short run and means it lacks the longevity and volume of some other shows, but some say it should be much higher due to its near perfect execution. DJ, what do you think of Gravity Falls?
Never seen it. I've seen clips of it. Yeah. But perfect execution?
That's what they say. It says tight narrative structure, mystery elements, and emotional payoff.
Maybe I need to watch this. I'm putting it on my list.
That prove that a carefully planned story could resonate deeply even with a short run. And it says it has an influence on modern storytelling in animation that is significant.
Gravity Falls, the one with the little cutesy bootsy animation.
I haven't seen a ton of it, so I'm not well versed. But Mike or Steve, did you have a chance to see any of this leading up to our countdown?
Yes, long time ago when it was on.
All right, don't count so pots.
Back in 2016, when
back in my day.
That's right. So Gravity Falls is basically it's a mystery comedy show. It takes place in Gravity Falls. It's about Dipper and Mabel Pines. They're trying to find their grunkle Stan. It's it deals with a little bit of horror stuff, but basically these two kids, Mabel and Dipper Pines, Dipper is kind of like the Mulder and she's kind of like the Scully. So it's kind of like X-Files kind of animation type stuff.
Okay.
It's not for me. Maybe it's for you, DJ. I don't
I mean,
know.
I see Linda Cardellini. I like her, but that's the only person I've seen on.
So I know everyone hates when I do this. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. Reading from Wikipedia, for their summer vacation, 12-year-old twin siblings, Dipper and Mabel Pines, are dropped off from their home in Piedmont, North Dakota. That's not what it says. Piedmont, California, to the fictitious town of Gravity Falls, Oregon, to spend the summer with their great uncle, Grunkle Stan, who runs a tourist trap called the Mystery Shack. Soon after they arrive in Gravity Falls, Dipper accidentally uncovers a mysterious journal that details many different paranormal or mythical creatures that live in the town. So it's your standard, it's like Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. without the dog.
Would you say it has perfect execution? Because that's a bold statement.
I don't know. I guess it's been like the last time I watched it, the only time I've watched it was December of 2016.
In
And
dog years, that was a long time ago for Mike.
yes,
So-
exactly.
Dog years, he's dead.
Steve, have you ever seen Gravity Falls?
I've watched it a little bit when I was kind of perusing the different shows to try and see what we were going to be dealing with here. I would rather watch Ren and Stimpy.
So would I.
Me
We
too.
trade that in. Log is great.
My kids, on the other hand, enjoyed the show because my oldest put it at like 39 and my youngest put it at 17. So obviously there's something there for that generation. I could not get into it. Between the animation and the writing, I didn't like it.
It's one of those modern shows that keeps coming up, and like when you're talking about which of the shows from the last 15 years should be considered for a top 100, like it comes up quite often with Adventure Time and some of the other ones. So I'm not shocked that it's here.
Yeah. And again, I will say it does have good writing. It's just not my genre of show that I like.
No,
it's just not to my taste.
The writer and creator of it is a year older than me to the day.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So for our next one, it's been exactly 20 spots since our only other show so far that aired originally on the Kids WB. So let's see what that is coming in next.
63.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
All right. Number 63, our second show from the Kids WB. We had Freakazoid at 83, and now we are up to 63. This show may be one of the most influential animated properties ever, extending far beyond television into games, movies, and global culture. It is a defining example of transmedia dominance. The show itself can be formulaic and repetitive, especially across its long run. So its impact versus storytelling quality debate could be a part here. May have or may not have aired for over 1,200 episodes. Number 63. It was on 7 of the 9 lists we looked at. It has dropped actually 25 spots from where we had it last time around. We're talking about Pokemon.
Oh God.
Pokemon, which was in our top 50 last time. It was number 39, I believe, and now it is fallen down to 63. Steve, what are your thoughts on Pokemon?
So I've gotten this. This is directly from my children who like the show. Like I watched the original run somewhat in passing. Like it wasn't something I religiously watched. I was a fan of the original games and like the first season of the old show. My kids have said that all of the newer programs are crap by comparison to the original run. They literally will watch the original stuff over the new stuff because they're like, all it is like there's no story. It's just battles and then like Ash, they ruined his character and they ruined all these other characters, and that like all the familiarity's
Raising
gone.
them kids right. That's what I love to hear. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, they were just ripping it apart, and I'm like, oh, you would do so well debating this. But yeah, I was like, children after my own heart. Like they're like bashing the new
They
stuff
are from
because
your
it
own heart.
sucks.
They're from your own DNA.
I know that. But I'm saying, like, as far as like the programs they enjoy.
Oh yeah.
So, but it probably helps. I curated a lot of it initially, but so they're like, the new stuff sucks. They're like, I want the old stuff.
Yes. DJ, thoughts on Pokemon? Is it top 100 worthy?
Pokemon to me is like anime cocaine, so I don't really I stay away from it because it's if you say anything bad
you
about
went through
Pokemon,
Dare when you were a child, right?
exactly. And if you say anything, I work with a bunch of people who still, like grown people, still like got the cards, play the games, know the anime. They're like, they have the poster in the office and they're telling me, I'm like, I don't care. But it's like you listen to them talk about it. And I'm like, is this me? Is this me in Star Wars? Is this what I sound like? Because they're just insane. And like, if I say anything bad about Pokemon, they get this look in their eye like they're looking for my jugular or somewhere to kill me really quickly. So I don't say anything bad about Pokemon, but this is going to be a Mike thing where it's just not my cup of tea. But I know it is about as influential as, oxygen to half of the world, where I still got people driving around trying to hunt imaginary creatures from an app on their phone that's 10 years old. So no, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, but Jesus Christ, stay away from me, Pokemon. I have no problem with you. You have no problem with me. It's all good.
My kids both play the old games and then they collect the cards. So
yeah. But they're kids. I know grown folk that still do it, Brand. I
think the games and the cards are maybe more and were more impactful than the show itself.
It's all a package deal, though. But it's not like, oh, I collect the cards, but I don't like the show. They protect.
No, but I mean,
all
as
of
far
it
as like
equally.
the cultural phenomenon, what is the cards, is the games. Like I remember like when the Pokemon Game Boy games or whatever, Game Boy Color or whatever it was, like that was like the number one selling game every time they came out with a new one.
Yeah.
So like to me,
I had appreciation for Pikachu from Smash Brothers because I love Smash Brothers, but I used to just pick Star Fox and kick Pikachu off of the thing because I didn't like Pikachu.
I mean, I totally get it. It was on our top 100 last time. It's on it again this time. But for me, I'm very much like DJ. Like, don't send your hate mail to me. I have no problem with you liking it, but I will never be. To me, there's two franchises like that I will just never be able to get into.
We're
It's Pokemon and
man. We're gonna be hunted by the Pikachu.
Right. Well, I'm gonna level it up because now I'm gonna have two different franchises come after me because it's Pokemon and Power Rangers. I can't get into either one of them. Like I just can't. Like they're not
I
my
get
thing.
Power Rangers before Pokemon.
I got into one season of a RPM. I thought that was pretty cool, but
RPM's good.
Yeah, but I know other people that are like, you don't like Power Rangers?
It's something with the P, I guess. Power Rangers and Pokemon, not for me. Mike, what do you think about Pokemon?
So Pokemon, oh
you have
boy.
10 seconds.
Okay. Oh, shut up. Do not have 10. You can't. How do do that? Anyway,
well, you used it up.
DJ.
Okay, moving on.
Ass hats. All right. So I never get into the cards or the game. I never get into the game stuff because I just never get into the game stuff. I watched the first couple of seasons of the show. It was okay. I was more into the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon than I was into Pokemon. However, love Yu-Gi-Oh. The Kaiba and all we'll talk later, DJ.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Shut up, Kevin. So anyway, when it comes to Pokemon, I think the only Pokemon thing I have and the only one I've ever like gone after was when Funko made a angry blocked Pikachu. I have that. And that's it. When that stupid app came out in 2016 or 2015 or whatever it is, I went online and I'm like, okay, whatever. I never downloaded, didn't care, whatever. I found when it came out and it was at its height, I was like, okay. And I saw somebody on Facebook posted whatever image they posted. It was Pokemon, stop. immediately saved that. And anytime anyone talked about it, that was the first image I put in whatever comment it was on Facebook, was that. And I still have that Pokemon stop image because I'm like, oh my God, no. Especially after the news story of somebody being so irresponsible out in California. But then again, yeah, no, I get it. The cartoon is influential. It was influential the first few seasons of it. The first, I would say, 4 or 5 seasons. It was fun. It was interesting. It was cool at the time. But
You
and
know,
the
like
funny
the
thing is,
first like 600-700 episodes were fine, I'm sure. But once they got to like 1200, I'm sure it started.
like I said, the first 2 or 3 or 4 seasons is fine. I don't think they have 100 episodes per season. I don't remember. I'd have to look. I know you are, but my problem with Pokemon is I don't know if it's anywhere online to stream, like like directly season 1, 2, 3, 4, or if it's all broken up. It's on this app, it's on that app, or whatever else. But 63 is a good spot for it. I'm glad it dropped.
All right. There's one theme so far for the last little bit of the countdown. It's modern shows, and we're going to go back there again next.
62.
That's the end of the Morty Gets a Dragon experiment.
Are you gonna slay it?
First off, I always slay it, Queen. Secondly, yes.
All right, for number 62, we're going to a show from 2013. Some say it's a modern benchmark for high concept sci-fi storytelling and animation. Others say that there's tonal inconsistency and the long-term quality and legacy could be in question. I know it was a craze for a while. From Adult Swim, we're talking about 2013's Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty here at number 62. DJ, you reacted first. That means you get to go first. Go ahead.
This may be one of the greatest shows that have turned into one of the most ponderous shows. I used to be. Rick and Morty was brilliant, was an amazing show. I adored this show. And where it's fallen now, it's kind of like, oh man. But does that wipe away all of the greatness of the show? The Vat of Acid episode may be one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. It's so good. But then I watched in recent seasons, and I'm just like, oh man. It's like that watching that athlete you love, and like you look at him now, and you're like, oh, you're broken. You need to retire, man. You were so great like 10 years ago, but now you can see that you don't have the pace anymore. You don't have the shot anymore. But yes, Rick and Morty, the episode where
like Aaron Rodgers.
I can go back. I can go anybody. But yeah, the episode where the Lucky Charms guy, where they rip open their version of Lucky and they eat the Lucky Charms out of his small intestines. I'm not ashamed to admit, I think I pissed myself laughing. It is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. The ants in your eyes. And I think all of it was improv, like where they're watching like animation and they were just improving their reaction to stuff. It is so good and so smart. It was such a smart show, I guess, when Dan Harmon was in charge. And now, you understand, because of that show, 2 of the writers of that show, who weren't even really good writers on that show, they were kind of like yes men for Dan Harmon, got to write 2 Avengers movies. Think about that. A Doctor Strange movie was written by one of the guys who did the Pickle Rick episode. Like, you understand how that show was at a time phenomenal. Now, it's not really that much so, but I have to give it its plot. It was one of my favorite shows of all time. I had it at 46. So yeah.
I ranked this one just on reputation and kind of influence, the popularity at its time. So I had this one at 69. It comes in here at number 62. Steve, what are your thoughts on Rick and Morty?
So while I may not care for a lot of the animation style in this either, and I didn't list this, I did, however, find that there is a lot of endearing qualities with this show that I can see why they would like it, between the humor and between the zany and kind of weird adult animation stuff, the jokes, I don't know. It feels almost like a modern Futurama in a sense, like kind of pushing the envelope, kind of purposely doing stuff a little bit differently, but also kind of playing in that same realm. So I don't necessarily have an issue with it. I didn't personally rank it, but I can see this one a little bit more than some of the other ones that I was kind of vehemently opposed to in the previous listings.
Fair enough. Mike, final thought on Rick and Morty.
What's next?
I'm the only one that likes Rick and Morty. Wow. Or you still like?
I've only seen clips of it. I don't. I just like. I know about the Pickle Rick thing. I haven't.
That's not even Pickle Rick is not. I mean, Pickle Rick is just a Die Hard spinoff, but or ripoff.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've only seen clips of it, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, I've seen more. Sadly, I've seen more Adventure Time than Rick and Morty.
Oh God, I'm sorry, but yeah,
I know.
Watch the first, I'd say 2 seasons. That's worth your time. More recent stuff is kind of like more ponderous, but like the first 2 seasons, they were doing.
How many episodes are in the first 2
they're
seasons?
quick. It's like 15, 20-minute. It's nothing. It's a cotton candy.
But how many episodes are in the first?
I don't know. Memorize.
You can look that up later. You can look that up later.
Yeah, in the next 20 years.
It's just one that I didn't get to in my homework to watch beforehand, and that just was a blind spot for me.
I would recommend, if you've never seen Rick and Morty, watch until, if you look this up, you can do your Wikipedia thing. Look where Dan Harmon leaves and then stop. Dan Harmon's on it, I think, which is the first couple seasons. It's really good. Dan Harmon from Community and whatever. But yeah, it's especially the writing. The jokes are phenomenal, even though a lot of it's improv. And essentially all it is a spoof of Back to the Future, the Rick and Morty instead of Doc and Marty. It's the same thing, but it's the writing that is the jokes and how they get to certain places, because there's episodes that are jokes, but then it's got lore to it and stuff like that. So yeah, the first few seasons. The more recent stuff, not anymore. But yes, the earlier Rick and Morty, worth your time. The recent Rick and Morty, not.
We're going to keep it modern for our next one as well.
61.
Love?
God.
That's butter. You know what? Butter's better.
You have 7 days to make your payment.
7? It's gonna be okay, Bob.
All right, number 61. We're staying in the same decade, this time 2011. There was a lot of adult or primetime animation comedy that was more cynical and had a different tone. But this one, a little more character-driven, a little more heartfelt adult animation. It might lack some cultural impact or some sharpness that we got with some of the other adult animated hits, but solid, long-running show. So I'm interested to hear your guys' take. 269 plus episodes, 30 plus award nominations and things like that. We're talking about 2011's Bob's Burgers. It already was mentioned once today. So Bob's Burgers at number 61. Mike, any experience with the burgers that Bob makes?
I watched about 4 or 5 episodes of it. I liked what I saw, but not enough to continue it.
Okay. Steve, what do you think?
Same. Like I didn't dislike this one. It kind of gave me, the vibes of some of the older kind of programs, like a King of the Hill type. I still don't like the animation. Like it's still a thing with that era, but I can see where people like it. I personally don't, though.
Another rare Fox show here showing up on the countdown. We've had Beast Machines and Bob's Burgers so far from the Fox network. DJ, what do you think of Bob's Burgers?
I was psyched getting into it because this is the guy that did Dr. Katz, which I loved. And it's just not, it wasn't as sharp to me as that show was. So it's kind of like, it's not horrible. It's just like, okay. I think it's very high on this list. I wouldn't put it this high. I know people who like the show a lot, but I mean, I bet you if I asked them that question, would you put it this high? They're probably like, nah. It's one of those safe, okay, enjoyable shows, but I would not put it up against certain things.
Interesting too. We went into today with 0 adult comedic centric shows in last episode, and it seems like we're getting our fill of them here. That's the number of them that we've gotten so far. I said there was a rule: every 5 spots we have to do what? Anybody remember?
Go back somewhere.
80s,
Go
right?
back in time. We got to go back all the way to the classic era. So that's where we're going next.
60.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish, 'cause I eat my spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
All right. Coming in next at number 60, going back to the 60s, fittingly enough. Foundational show to animation. Influenced character animation, action timing, and humor structure. It's one of the earliest globally recognized animated icons. Its age and style may make it feel less relevant to modern audience, but often debated between top-tier historical importance and maybe lower modern engagement. 1960 classic show. I had it ranked number 18. It falls here at number 60. Last 15 years ago, it was at 53, so it's fallen 7 spots. Anybody have any guess to this 1960 animated icon?
Did Popeye the Sailor Man?
It is Popeye the Sailor.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
Popeye the Sailor from King Features here, 1960 show. Like I said, I obviously feel this should be top 50 minimum, but it comes in here at number 60. So it is what it is. I'm glad it made the countdown. I'm glad it only slid 7 spots, but I would have had it slide 7 spots the other way into the top 50. So I just think it's that iconic and influential from an earlier standpoint, but I'll let you guys share your opinions. DJ, what do you think of Popeye the Sailor?
I was upset because I think Jenda Tartovsky was going to do a kind of a remake of this, I believe, but it just fell apart. I think he just went to do Primal. But I mean, Popeye to me, I mean, I remember reading the comic strip, and then I saw the Robin Williams movie directed by Robert Altman, of all people, and I loved it. And so Popeye's, he's an icon. he's as iconic to me as the Bunny, Mickey Mouse, because it's Popeye. You say Popeye, people know what the hell you're talking about. And he's the reason why I was forced to eat spinach when I was younger, and I hated spinach when I was younger. But yeah, Popeye's great, and he's not just the only one. That universe has some great characters in it. Olive Oil, Sweet Pea,
Wimpy,
Pluto is one of the greatest villains of all time. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on in there. But Blimpy, Wimpy. So yeah,
I feel like Pluto and Olive Oil were like the precursors to Dark Side and
like Dark Side,
Wonder Woman,
Lois
Lane or Wonder Woman or whatever it was.
Oh wow, that's a jump.
Anyway,
that is a jump.
I mean,
Death Battle. I want Dark Side versus Pluto immediately.
Yeah, we need that immediately.
That comes from my watching of Super Friends or last year when there was a lot of interesting things that was trying to happen between Darkseid and a female.
Oh,
anyways,
yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I see why you got one.
Get a lot of that with Pluto and Olive Oil.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
Mike, what do you think of Popeye the Sailor?
Yeah. Love Popeye. Very awesome.
Top 50 worthy or 60s good, or where do you think? Closer to the 100 end? What do you think?
No. This is about good. Yeah.
All right. Steve, agree or disagree?
I agree. I think it's about good. However, it does have a massive episode count.
Yeah. And a lot of spin-offs too. Like there was a lot of Popeye and Sons and the new Popeye or something, all new Popeye. I don't know. There was lots of Popeyes.
Watch the movie with Robin Williams. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I do need to watch that now because I forgot that's a thing.
Guilty pleasure of mine.
Well, I don't think we've gotten enough of them, so let's get some more adult animation next.
59.
Morning, Citizen Venture. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Pack your bags, White.
We're going to New York City.
Right, coming in at number 59, a masterclass in long-form storytelling and layered satire. Complexity, though, and continuity can make it less accessible to new viewers. From 2004, Adult Swim show The Venture Brothers. It did not make our countdown 15 years ago. It was ranked 167, so it's climbed over 100 spots to number 59. Wow. The Venture Brothers. Mike, any experience, or what are your thoughts?
Never seen it.
All right, Steve.
Never seen it. Sorry.
You've never seen it? Like, I've at least seen that.
Bro, you have some homework to do.
Yeah. We already revealed it. It's fine.
Steve, what do you think?
I think it's well versed. Like, it wasn't my favorite show, but it was one of those ones that was on Adult Swim, and I would watch it just because it was goofy, and uh, the animation was pretty good. The jokes were funny, hand drawn animation. Some of it was meh, but overall, like, it wasn't bad. It was kind of entertaining to watch.
Yeah, so we've had a couple Adult Swim shows here, Robot Chicken, technically Rick and Morty, and now we get the Venture Brothers. DJ, what do you think of Venture Brothers and how it ranks amongst those other ones?
Venture Brothers is my number 11. It's one of the smart, and Steve is saying it's goofy because it is goofy. There's scenes in there. Brock Sampson is goofy.
It's still funny.
It's hilarious, but there's elements of that show where they'll be telling a joke that you'll have to look up to get it because it's a joke having to do with Plato telling a dissertation to somebody, and they make a joke about it. But if you're not paying attention, you don't even. This show is the show I tell people, like, if you want to watch Venture Brothers, you're going to watch it for 3 different levels. You're going to watch it for the animation, which is great, and the goofy Johnny Quest spinoff, or you're going to watch it for the adultness where Brock Sampson's killing people in the way where you're just like, oh my God, this is uber violent and fun. And then you're going to be watching on a level where you're like, wait a minute, that joke is so highbrow. I don't think I'm old enough to watch this show. It is one of the shows that I would put up there if I tell you, just give it a chance. Give it. And again, this is another light show. It's not, it's been going on forever, and they have a YouTube channel where they just play it over and over again. Give it to the first season where, again, you guys, like, you dig it the most. They're making G.I. Joe references. They're making Transformer references. They're making Johnny Quest references. And then they'll make a reference to Socrates talking to some other guy. But it's all over the place in terms of what they hit. But what they hit is very, very, I have never seen a cartoon show as smart and as funny as the Venture Brothers, ever. Name me something as smart as it. When the people who are writing it, I forget his name. God, I forget. He does one of the voice. He does and you got Dr. Girlfriend, who is a Jackie O ripoff, who sounds like Harvey Fierstein. Then you have the Monarch, who's essentially doing underhand jokes like he's a Batman villain, but then he's making jokes that only like Mark Twain would understand.
Well, at least it was Harvey Fierstein and not Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, Fierstein. He kind of talks like this. Dr. Girlfriend kind of talks like, but she looks like Jackie O, which is like, what's going on here? So it's got the quirkiness of it, but then if you like pay attention to the dialogue, it is so high. And then if you don't even care about that, the fact that they have a G.I. Joe spinoff, and I think I forget them. I'm going to forget their names, but they call it something else. They have like Shipwreck. And then they have Kevin Conroy as gay Batman. They have it's so much.
Wait.
Kevin, the late great, amazing Kevin. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Kevin effing Conroy voices gay Batman on the show.
You are lying.
Yes, I am not lying. Give Venture Brothers at least a season.
What I'm hearing is that this show gets the DJ seal of approval.
If I had to be trapped in a desert island with one show to watch that would get my entertainment, Venture Brothers would be a strong consideration for me because every character has a lore hole. When I say lore hole, I mean you could just they delve into, if it's about Brock Sampson, if it's Dr. Girlfriend, if it's the Monarch, if it's the brothers, the again, I'm not doing it justice. Just trust me. You trust me. One season, you will not regret it. It is, again, right. It's goofy, but it's also very, very smart.
He plays Captain Sunshine.
Oh, he's Captain Sunshine, yeah, which is essentially gay Batman. Kevin Conroy.
All right.
I'm not making up. He's on the show.
So we've revealed 40%, over 40% of our list. And so far we sit at 6 shows from the 1990s. Let's do our best to change that next.
58.
Excuse me, sir. The show's over.
Get away, zitface.
Excuse me, sir. The show's over.
Is the snack bar still open?
Excuse me, sir. The show's over.
But I have nowhere to go.
All right, number 58. sometimes boosted by the canceled too soon status, didn't have a long shelf life, but sharp satire of media culture that anticipated the rise of review culture and commentary-driven entertainment. Its humor still resonates. It debuted on ABC, so another ABC entry here. Number 58 from 1994. We're revealing now The Critic. The Critic. It jumped from 68 to 58 on our countdown over the course of the last 15 years. So another intelligently written animated series. Mike, what do you think of The Critic?
Yeah, it was interesting at the time when it was out. I think it's probably one of the only two John Lovitz things I actually enjoy.
Mike's spreading the hate all around today's episode.
What are you talking about? What the fuck?
Now you're going to have the John Lovitz fans coming after you.
Didn't like
what?
the Venture Brothers. Didn't like The Critic. Didn't like Pokemon. You're in trouble.
No. Wait a second. I said I've never seen the Venture Brothers. I never said I didn't like the Venture Brothers.
You said you detest the Venture Brothers. That's what you. I heard it. We had it recorded right now.
You fucking liar. No, and I said it's one of the
Best things John Lovitz ever done.
No, one of the three things that I've seen Lovitz in that I actually like. The other two things are A League of Their Own and High School High.
He's a wedding singer.
He's good in Wedding Singer. They're losing their minds. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
That's right. I forgot he was in. Okay, so one of four. Yeah,
It's getting better by the minute.
Yeah.
Getting better by the minute.
I used that line recently with a situation at work.
Benefits? You did that one before?
Yeah. They're losing their minds. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
Did you do the slow pullback of your head behind a curtain?
Yeah. I did that to my wife, like, as a joke, like, and she's like, she caught the joke in the reference, and I was like, it landed.
There you go.
This is one of my favorite shows, to be honest. I had that in my top 40 just because I love this show, the humor in it, the fact that he's poking fun at crappy written movies.
Yeah.
The fact that nobody likes him, but yet he's still giving his 2 cents on it, and he's completely honest and blunt, even though people are mad at him for doing it. I love that he says it stinks, and then the end of the episodes are always so funny because they change it every episode. Like when the credits are rolling and he's sitting in there, and they're like, sir, the theater's closed, and he's like, is the snack bar still open? Or like, sir, you can't stay here, and he's like, but I have nowhere to go.
Yep.
Hilarious. So I mean, there's so many good clips with the show that I love this show.
DJ, agree or disagree?
This is pretty much a spin-off of The Simpsons because he showed up on an episode of The Simpsons as well.
Yep.
And I was getting into movies right when this show hit, and the fact that it was like, we're gonna do The Simpsons, but we're gonna focus on the movie world. I was like, I'm in, and I loved every. I remember this show, I guess, getting canceled or just not coming back, and I was like, oh man, I love The Critic. Why? Give me more of The Critic. And I think it jumped networks first. I think it was like on one network, and then it went to another. I was like, oh man, I love John Lovitz. I mean, I loved him on SNL. So with him voicing the character, I was like, oh, this is great. But yeah, The Critic. And it holds up today. You can still watch a lot of those episodes.
100%.
And him trashing Hollywood probably holds up even less. It's like, wait a minute, you're not hard enough. You need to be more critical.
And then you get Orson Welles clips in there. And it did jump 4 networks, though. It was on ABC, it went to Fox, it went to Comedy Central, and then UPN.
I think I watched it. I think I watched it from ABC to Fox. Was it new episodes on Comedy Central, or did this rebroadcasting it on Comedy Central?
They had it for a few months.
Okay,
probably just broadcast or something. I don't know. Yeah, a well-traveled show for sure, and it's another intelligently written one, so I have no problems with it being on our countdown. Let's go ahead and stick with the 90s though for our next one.
57.
Sketch artists have prepared the following likenesses.
All right, number 57. I think some of you may guess the wrong show, but I'm going to say a defining show of youth culture that helped push animation into edgier, more rebellious territory, influenced an entire wave of adult animation, although some critics would say it was too crude and lacked depth. We're going with
Archer?
1993.
Oh.
Beavis and Butthead?
First entry with the MTV of Beavis and Butthead at number 57. So it was 26 last time. It was in our top 26 15 years ago. It has fallen to number 57 this time. Do we have it on the right side of the 50 mark this time, or did we get it right 15 years ago, Steve?
I think it's where it needs to be. I feel like there's other shows, even that we've covered so far, that could have been ahead of this.
Yeah, I had it ranked number 93 on my list. I do still think it warrants like a spot on the countdown probably, but I was having trouble getting it much higher than that. So like for me, it fell all the way down to 93. I'm not upset that it appears it may be a little too high for me, but I'm not sure. DJ, agree or disagree?
This is one of those shows where I was not. I understood its cultural relevance. I've watched it a bunch. I was more of a Daria guy because I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Daria is a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead. Or at least it was on. I know it was on MTV at the same time.
Right.
But what they were so annoying to me. I could not stick into the show enough. But as in terms of MTV and their the groundbreaking nature of that show, it's got to be there because it put MTV. They had that. What is it? 2 movies? I know they had 1 movie. Beavis and Butthead Do America. I believe it's called.
America.
Yeah. But yeah, I their humor wasn't my humor. But I mean, you could not get at that year when that came out. You could not get away from Beavis and Butthead. Everybody had a freaking
phenomenon
Beavis and
for sure.
Shirt. Yeah.
Mike, do you think it's worthy of still being on the top 100?
Can I get number 103 in its place, please? That would be Young Justice.
Wow.
I'll take that trade.
I like Young Justice. Again, you making some good trades today. I like these trades.
I don't know how much the mass audience would agree with that or not.
No.
Like their humor was okay for about 25 minutes, and then I didn't care for any. As a kid in the 90s, I was. When did it debut? What year did 93? You said, right?
King of the Hill is a spinoff.
I was 13. Right. What DJ?
Isn't King of the? I couldn't remember if it was Daria or King of the Hill that was a spinoff. I think it was King of the Hill that was a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead. I think Hank Hill might have been like their neighbor or something to that effect, or he showed up originally on there.
Do America and Do the Universe. Do America was 96. Do the Universe was 2022. That's too long between friggin' films. Anyway, no, I just don't think it. Like I said, it's good for like a party trick. It was good for the time. No, seriously, in 2026, it's good for a nice little party trick. It's good if you know the. I am Cornholio. If you know the thing, I did as a kid, as a teenager in the 90s. I didn't care for any of the music videos they were playing.
I think the thing that people would, I think we're all somewhat in agreement on, like it should be placed closer to the 100 mark or whatever. But I think the argument that would be made by the other side of the coin would be not on its quality specifically, but on what it did for pushing the edge and allowing, the next wave of adult animation. Whether you're a fan of that or not is kind of beside the point. That it did do that, right? Like it did open the door for Adult Swim,
groundbreaking show.
A lot of that. So I think that's what people would argue for as far as in its favor. But like I said, I had it at 93. So either way, it has made our top 100 countdown once again. And for the third in a row, we're going to stick with the 90s.
56.
What a fine day for science!
All right, next up, number 56 from 1996. I'm just going to let Mike talk about this one because I am not a fan. It did not make my countdown, but I get that a lot of people love it. A cornerstone of the Cartoon Network renaissance, helping establish a creator-driven model that shaped modern animation
What a
Visual
cartoon.
style and humor were highly influential. Later seasons may have dropped in quality, but early impact maybe deserves this high of a ranking. I'm not a fan. I know, Mike, you are. So 1996 from Cartoon Network, Dexter's Laboratory.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Dexter's
time. You said you don't like Dexter's Laboratory?
I do not.
He's a troglodyte. Don't worry, he's a troglodyte.
I can anger fan groups.
He doesn't understand the nuance of Dexter, DD,
Without
and
Dexter's Laboratory, there's no Powerpuff. Without Dexter's, there's no Samurai Jack.
exactly.
I was
Without
at
Dexter's
that point,
Lab, there is no Cartoon Network.
which would be
Cartoon
fine.
Network.
Which would be fine with me.
Oh my God, what is wrong with
I would
America?
be totally okay with that.
Oh, you son of a gun.
Like, I don't necessarily
bitch.
appreciate the Cartoon Network quadrant
Not a
of the
Jenny
animated
Tartakovsky fan, huh? You don't like
series.
Jenny?
No, I don't like this style of animation. I
Oh,
haven't liked
man.
most of the shows. It also came out kind of when I was like out of cartoons for a while. Like I was,
Symbiotic Titan. The Mandart. Oh my God. Du Fromage. Nothing.
no,
No,
nothing for
he's
me.
the-
I get that I'm in
not
the
his.
minority. And I was like 15, 16 when this came out. I was on to other things.
I
I
was
didn't come
16
back to
years-
animation until, maybe a decade
and
later.
that's the
So
thing, like, so here's where I was in 1996. What did you say, a month or a whatever date? Did you say an actual date?
no,
of
just
when-
96.
Oh crap! That means I have to do the research.
I don't think it's important.
No, it's important.
It was on 8 of the 9 lists that we looked at, so I know it's universal appeal. Well, Mike's looking that up. Steve, thoughts on Dexter's Laboratory?
I actually didn't list it, but it was more so because I had so many other shows that I wanted to add in my list. I did enjoy it at the time when it came out, and as well as a lot of the other Gennady Tartakovsky programs.
April
Each one got a little bit
27th.
more edgier and different. I mean, it started during the What a Cartoon era too, which
Yep.
consequently also started Seth MacFarlane with the precursor to Family Guy.
Yep.
And we got Johnny Bravo, we got Dexter's Lab, we got Powerpuff Girls, we got all kinds of different stuff in there in that block. And I enjoyed them all to different degrees. They weren't like my go-to shows, but in a pinch of like, I want to watch cartoons, I knew I could turn those on and I could watch them and, halfway decently enjoy them. Dial M for Monkey or the, the different, the Justice Friends. Yeah.
Yep.
Major Glory.
Yeah. Major Glory, voiced by Rob Paulson.
Yeah. So I mean,
fight between what you call D and Dexter and the mom and the dad.
Yep.
Mom is the best snowball fighter of all of them.
Yes.
Put the
yes,
snowball down, dear.
Yeah. Put the snowball down, dear. You're not going to win.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like it's deserved. I don't necessarily know if it belongs this high, but at the same time, like I don't disagree with it being on the list because it was kind of that show that brought us the rest of the stuff that showed up on Cartoon Network later.
So it had 2 release dates, but it ran from 96 to 2003 overall. It was released April 27th or so in 96. And at that time, I was in the middle of going through whatever state run placement I was going through. So I was a ward of the state in Kentucky at the time. Wasn't living with my mom, wasn't living with my dad. I was a state kid at the time. So I was 16, and just like you said, Kev, I was kind of out of cartoons. I was focusing on other things. I was doing whatever, but I would catch cartoons here or there, and I was more so looking for whatever Transformers thing or whatever other superhero DCAU Batman thing. And this just kind of caught on because it was a kid genius with evil older sister that she's not really evil. Dee Dee's not evil, but like
annoying. She's just annoying.
She's an annoying older sister, and I'm an only child, so I never really had that. I had cousins who kind of, even though I'm the oldest out of all my cousins, but I had annoying cousins and everything else. So and Dexter's accent and he has a laboratory and he wants to go down and invent a bunch of things, and he has this evil nemesis and Mandark. Yeah, Mandark. And it was just fun. And like Steve mentioned earlier about, Just Us Friends and Major Glory and all that, it was just a fun show. And I think during those times, between 95 and 99, when I was in state's custody, I needed something that was that kind of fun, and it was just cool. So yeah, Dexter's
DJ.
Lab.
Final thoughts, DJ, on Dexter's Laboratory.
I'll tell. This is my number 14, by the way. I love Dexter's Laboratory. Jenny Tartovsky is one of my favorites. I'll tell a little story. I used to work at the YMCA. I was a counselor, and I was in charge of the 8-year-olds. And I had a little kid. He was French, and he was very sad because he only spoke French. And like we would get him to play and stuff, and he would play, but he was kind of like. And then one day I saw an episode of Dexter's Laboratory where they make Dexter only say omelette du fromage. That's all you can say. That Didi, one of his experiments goes haywire, and all Dexter can say is omelette du fromage, which I think is cheese omelet, I believe. So I walked up to this French kid the next day and I said omelette du fromage, and the smile on this kid's face, just to hear me say something in French to him, the rest of the summer camp, he would run up to me and scream, omelette du fromage, every single time. 8-year-old kid. That would have never happened without me watching an episode of Dexter's Laboratory.
That's
where
cool.
Dexter is forced to say omelette du fromage. His name is Stephen Orsini. I remember it vividly. I was because he was just a nice, quiet kid, but you could tell nobody spoke French. He didn't speak English, but we bonded over omelette du fromage from Dexter's Laboratory. So thank you, Dexter's Laboratory. Thank you, Jenny Tartowski.
Yeah, I like it. All right. That means there's only 5 spots left for today's episode, so we'll see where we go next. Hint, we're going to stay in the 90s.
55.
Disney's Tailspin. In Hot Air Baloo, Becky takes over when Baloo gets grounded. But Baloo shows us you can't keep a good bear out of the air.
All right, from 1990, let's go to the wonderful world of Disney once again. I don't know what the thought process will be on this one. Some will say it's often overshadowed by other superior shows that came in the Disney afternoon. Some will call it underrated, others mid-tier. So I think it's going to be all across the spectrum on this one. It has fallen quite a bit. It was 34 last time around 15 years ago. Now it is 55. From 1990, we're talking about Tailspin here at 55. Steve, you go first. Tailspin.
I love this show. Like the animation, the theme, just, Baloo, the Shere Khan, like all these guys. Like it was so much fun to watch. Like I feel like we had a lot of good animated series from Disney between the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
And this is one of them. Like I genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a good show. The question then becomes like, when we go to Disney. So we already had The Adventures of the Gummy Bears, which was 95.
Yep.
And now we get Tailspin at 55. Is it one of the better from the Disney afternoon? DJ, where do you think it stands as far as like, where should it be in the top 100 if you think it belongs here at all?
It's number 20 on my list, under which I think is the better one. I will not name it because I have assumed it has not been named yet. You can make another show, you guys, just based on which show has the best theme song and have 100 list. And I think Tailspin would still land number 20, right behind the one that Disney Afternoon one that I think is one spot better than this, because their theme song, I think, is one of the greatest theme songs of all time. But Tailspin is right there. The show is great in terms of, it's fun. It's Disney, it's Baloo, it's Jungle Book, but they switched it on his head where Baloo is now like kind of this Han Solo-y type character, crowd kicker, and Shere Khan's a businessman, but he's kind of like like American Psycho kind of businessman. But to me, when you say Tailspin, the first thing that pops in my head is the song.
Yeah.
The song is goated, as the kids say. It is one of the greatest theme songs of all time. The only song that beats it is probably for the one that I have right before it.
Let's get dangerous.
No.
No, that's not what he's talking about at all.
Not that one.
That's not what he's talking about at all. And I would also put the gummy bears in there too.
There's
wait.
There's a song better than both of
you're
those.
talking about the other duck. Oh,
I'm talking about another mallard.
Yeah.
One.
Anybody else? Any thoughts on Tailspin?
It's a discussion for another day. I like Tailspin. Tailspin is awesome. It's so interesting, that show. So fun. Don Carnage is a very misunderstood pirate.
Fair enough. Anybody else? Last thought on Tailspin, or should we move on to the next one?
Let's go.
All right, let's stick with the 90s, but this time let's reveal somebody's number one overall pick.
54.
You also have to find the other guardians and our princess. I wish I could go back to being just a normal girl. You're the guardian that's been chosen for this mission.
All right, next up is number 54. One person's number one overall pick altogether. We're going to stay with the 90s. How about a global phenomenon that helped define, this may give it away, the magical girl genre and expand anime's reach internationally, influencing storytelling, fashion, and representation. Some say it had some pacing issues and there were some filler episodes that could have affected your experience, but others would say it belongs significantly higher than we have it due to its global impact. Did some of you guys say it? I wasn't paying attention.
Sailor Moon?
Number 54 is Sailor Moon.
Wow.
Pretty close to the old number, too.
Last time it was 58. This time it is 54. So we've had it in the 50s. Both times it was one person's number one overall. Thoughts on 1992 Sailor Moon? DJ, you go first.
Sailor Moon. It's kind of landing in the speed racer category for me, where it's like, yeah, this is groundbreaking. I don't know if, and they go to any con, you're going to see a zillion Sailor Moons. And
yeah.
What's the name of the guy, the tuxedo with the mask?
Tuxedo mask.
Is that his name?
Yes.
I literally go, what's the name of the guy in the tuxedo with the mask? He says his name is fantastic. That was a shot in the dark. But no, it's culturally significant. It's groundbreaking in terms of that. But would I watch Sailor Moon again? Probably not. But I don't like Michael Jordan, but I know Michael Jordan was good. So I'll put my hands up and go, yeah, I understand Sailor Moon.
Fair enough. Mike, any thoughts on Sailor Moon?
I watched the show back when it was on, but I haven't seen it in a long time. But having it at 54, gained a little ground. Who knows? When we do this in another 40 years, maybe it'll go up another 4 spots.
Steve, what do you think? Final thoughts on Sailor Moon?
I didn't watch this a whole lot, but I do see the significance of it. And it was probably the first anime that I saw before Dragon Ball Z. So, really? Yeah, I remember catching it, and it was just on, I don't know if it was UPN or Fox or something. It was on one of those stations because I caught it around other shows I was watching, and I just watched it out of just mild curiosity. Didn't have any issues with it, and I thought it was kind of cool with the powers and everything. It does have a very anime vibe to the whole thing. But I think that also is kind of what softened me up for when Dragon Ball Z came along, because you had the fighting, you had the powers, you had all that stuff. So I think that it definitely belongs in this list as one of the kind of staples of anime and staples of animation.
Another pretty good theme song as well.
Yes. So, there's a lot of that. We should do a top 100 theme song.
I gave you the idea. I want my 15%.
Yeah.
You can join us.
15%.
You can join us.
Yeah.
DJ, you were going to be one of my, if it ever happened, I have a whole theme song show that you were going to be like one of my main guests on. So.
Man, bro.
I'd be ecstatic.
Know where that duck's going.
One day. All right. That means there's only 3 more spots on this side of the 50 mark. Let's see who takes them.
53.
Gonna send your vote to college when you vote for president.
All right. For once, in the last 5 shows, we're going to get out of the 90s. So we had only had 6 the whole time, and then we got 5 in a row. Also meant that we went 6 shows in between our last one that was pre-1980s. So let's go back there here for number 53. This should give it away, but just in case, I want to see how you guys do. A unique blend of education and entertainment with songs that became part of cultural memory. Demonstrates animation's ability to influence learning at scale, but some would say it's not traditional narrative series, which makes it hard to compare to the rest of the shows that we have on our countdown. Any guesses for our number 53?
What year was this?
1973.
I know what it is, but I can't remember the name.
Burning.
Conjunction.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Conjunction. What's my function?
We already had.
No. Why can't I remember the name?
How about a show that aired on?
Yes,
close.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Another
one that.
Yeah.
Another one that aired originally on ABC.
Is that
something we need
Rock?
to make kids watch again?
All of the things. Yes. Schoolhouse Rock. Yep. What are you guys' thoughts for an educational / entertainment series here from 1973 coming in at number 53? DJ, what do you think?
Made us watch these in school, so I was kind of like, but it was kind of like, well, I don't have to do any work. But yeah, but I remember it worked because I remember that Bill on Capitol Hill song.
Right.
I think I've only seen that once in my life, but it stayed with me. But yeah, in terms of what it did, I learned more from probably like shows like Sesame Street and stuff like that, and Letter People and what. Yeah, Mr. Rogers. Well, Mr. Rogers was there, but Mr. Rogers kind of like a vibe. But yeah, Schoolhouse Rock. When you see it, it kind of gives you the warm and fuzzies of look, remember the 70s? I was born in the 70s. Remember the 70s? You know, we're out of Vietnam.
Young, thank God.
We're kind of like getting over like the 60s. We're kind of coming off that high. Let's learn some stuff. That's what kind of Schoolhouse Rock is.
A decent climb for this one. If I have my data correct, I believe last time this one lost in a tiebreaker for the 100th spot.
Really?
And this time it gets 53. So that's almost a 50 spot jump here. Interesting. For me, I voted it number 55 and it came in here at 53. I had Sailor Moon at 51 and Schoolhouse Rock at 55. So I'm feeling good about the last two. So Mike, last thoughts on Schoolhouse Rock?
Gotta learn about them bills that turn into those laws.
Yeah.
Sitting on Capitol Hill, man. Come on.
All right.
All right. That leaves only 2 spots left. Let's see what's next.
52.
I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi. Great care we must take.
For number 52, we're going to have our first franchise with a third entrant. Get the wheels turning a little bit. Significantly deepened this franchise's universe, adding emotional and narrative weight to characters and events, and proved animation could carry major franchise storytelling. From 2008. Some may say this should not have been revealed yet, but we'll see. We've had Clone Wars, we've had Rebels, and now we have the Clone Wars at number 52. The 2008's Cartoon Network Lucasfilm vehicle, Star Wars, The Clone Wars. I would have had it much higher. I had it number 10 overall, but it is coming in here at 52. Mike, what do you think?
So I went on a deep dive when Disney Plus first started way back when, and right before everything shut down. I went on a deep dive and watched everything I could with Star Wars animation. And I binge watched this entire series, and
Really?
I absolutely, yeah. Oh, if I had my old, it's a whole thing. If I had my old Twitter account, I actually had a whole thread where I literally did a whole thing as I was watching. I binge watched the whole thing, and I absolutely love this series. This series was so cool, so awesome. Absolutely love the characters. Ahsoka is amazing.
Ahsoka's great.
What?
No, I said Ahsoka's great because I originally, when I watched the movie, I hated her. And that the show made me like her a lot.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The show is so much better. I think it should be a little higher, maybe 45, but 52 is okay. Yeah, no, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, absolutely love it.
I think it should be in our final episode where we do the 25 through 1, but that hasn't happened 15 years ago or this time around, because 15 years ago it was at 49. This time it's at 52. Steve, does that mean we have it right around the 50 mark is the right spot, or what are your opinions on the Clone Wars?
I'm kind of torn because, like, I do agree this show is awesome, and there's a lot of great storytelling and mythos in this. I think that while it's good, I don't know. Like, I'm so torn on it. I do feel like it should have been in at least in the next episode, though,
Fair enough.
for where it lands. This one seems like it's like, I missed it by that much, and yeah. So I don't know, like, but same could be said for some of the other shows that have already appeared here, that they should have been in a slightly different order, but because the way that they're, voted on, I mean, I didn't personally put it above 50, but I also had other shows that I wanted, like, I enjoyed more, and I found other relevance with outside of Star Wars. So
right,
I do think that it's a strong contender, and it should be here, though, regardless.
DJ, give you the final thoughts here. So first, do we have it in the right place, or would you place it different? And second, we've had Clone Wars, Rebels, and now the Clone Wars. Does that mean we've shut the door on the Star Wars franchise here at number 52, and that's it for the rest of the countdown?
Yeah, I think until season 7 came out, I'd have probably said this is the right place for it. Then I saw season 7, and there's a scene I guess a climactic fight in the end of season 7 between spoiler alert, Maul and Ahsoka. And I think it's one of the best Star Wars anything that I've seen other than Andor ever, where it's like I'm watching it, I'm like, this moment here, I would put it up against anything in the sequel trilogy. Anything. Like it's Ahsoka
100%.
and Maul trying to convince Ahsoka for the wrong reasons. So Maul is correct, and Ahsoka disagreeing with Maul for the right reasons, even though she's incorrect. I was like, this scene right here elevates this entire series where it was, because if you watch the first episode of the Clone Wars in this scene, it's going to be like whiplash of how deep and good. And then the fight happens, and it's like motion capture, and it's Ray Park doing the motion capture of Maul. It's like, what? This is amazing. So I think that season 7 elevates it. And the problem with the Clone Wars is for every like 6 episodes of really good, solid Ahsoka leaving the academy because the Jedi essentially didn't believe her. So she's like, okay, we proved your innocence. She's like, yeah, I ain't coming back. That for every great story arc like that with Asajj Ventress, you'd have a Jar Jar episode would bring the show down. But I think season 7, the stuff that happens in season 7 is so good. I think it kind of hurts me that it's as low as it is. So yeah, if there's any Star Wars above this, I would be surprised. I don't think it can be. If I remember correctly, I hope. Oh no, well, no, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, to me, this was probably a little bit too low for me.
But the thing is, though, even the Jar Jar episodes in the Clone Wars are better than. No, hold on, let me finish. Even the Jar Jar episodes in the Clone Wars are better than anything in the sequel trilogy.
Oh well, yeah.
And I would say that the only thing that, not saying that it's better than, I would say it's close to as good of quality as the Clone Wars. Maybe the Bad Batch might come.
That's what I'm forgetting. Yeah, but it's always good to. I mean, as a Star Wars like fanatic, when I watch or in a Marvel fanatic and a DC fanatic, and when I watch somebody make a show based on the IP that I love, and you can just tell from a scene, they like the thing they're working on.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They know exactly what the thing they're working on is about. They're not just using it to tell their own thing. They're actually in the lore of the show. When you have shows like that, it really hits you like, man, thank you. I'm going to try and spread the word as much as possible about this because you showed effort where the sequel trilogy did not. They messed up. But the Clone Wars, I think, to me, it started off as like, oh, it's a cutesy bootsy show where George Lucas is making, and then it started getting like, oh, wait, this is kind of serious. Oh, wow. Evis is scarier. What's oh my God, that guy's dead. So it's like, it just grew and grew and grew to where it's like, oh, this is not a cutesy bootsy show. This is actually hitting lore elements that a movie couldn't tell you. So I got high respect for the Clone Wars.
Right, that means there's only time for one more on this side of the 50 mark, and it is going to be another person's number one overall.
51.
I come from the net, through systems, peoples, and cities, to this place, Mainframe. My format, Guardian, to mend and defend.
All right, coming in at 51. 6 out of our last 8 shows today were from the 90s, and this is the third show that finds its way here from 1994. Originally aired on ABC. Seems to see a lot of those recently. And it has fallen over the course of 15 years, fallen 16 spots. So it was 35 last time around. It is now 51. Also our second show from the company Mainframe. So the first fully CGI animated TV series making it a landmark in animation history. Evolves into more serialized storytelling over time, showing ambition beyond its format. Some do say, though, that its early visuals and episodes feel dated compared to modern standards. We're talking about 1994's reboot here at number 51. I know there's a lot of love on the panel for this one. I didn't quite have room for this one on my top 100, but somebody did rank it number 1 overall. Steve, I know you're a big fan, so I'll start with you. What do you think about reboot?
I think I know who ranked it number 1. But anyways,
hi, Tara. Sorry, Tara.
I ranked it in my top 35. I really enjoyed this show. One, it was kind of groundbreaking for animated television series. It had a lot of interesting plays into the computer world. It had strong villains, but it also was what led to like War Planets and Beast Wars and Beast Machines and several other animated series. I think Action Man too. And I think that while some of Reboot was kind of hit or miss, when they started going the more serialized route, it did kind of pick up and get a little better. But I could argue the same thing with some of the other mainframe television shows too. Although I would argue that Beast Wars is probably their strongest show. Reboot did have a lot of good voice acting. A lot of the same voice actors were carried over between them. And Megabyte was voiced by Tony Jay, which another villain similar sounding to Beast Wars Megatron, of where they have the deep voice and very commanding. And it was good enough that Mainframe in their current iteration decided to try and do a reboot and do their own Power Ranger version of it going into it, and they kind of bastardized the original reboot with it. But this one, while I argue that it's great, and it is dated both with story and visual, I do think that it deserves to be on this side of the 50.
There we go. And Mike, for the record, it was not Tara. So take that back. She did not rank this number 1. She did have it in her top 5, though. All right, Mike, what do you think of Reboot? Does it deserve the spot for 51? Last time it was 35.
Yeah, it probably does deserve the spot at 51. I need to go back and rewatch it again. I didn't have time in the research to rewatch it. I did see a number of the episodes at the time when it came out. Plus, when we first started the GCRN, there was supposed to be some weird show where we were supposed to reboot Mainframe at some point, but that
rebooting
never happened.
Mainframe. Yeah.
Yes. I know. I forgot the ing. Excuse me. But I I liked what I saw. I found it interesting, and Megabyte was one of the coolest villains. Especially, I would love to see, and I know this is never going to happen, but I would love to see a Bat in the Sun superpower beatdown between Megabyte and Beast Wars Megatron.
As long as I get to play Megatron, I don't care.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
DJ, what's your thoughts on reboot? Does it deserve 35th like last time? Does it deserve 51st like this time, or does it deserve way closer to maybe 100? Or does it even deserve to be on the list?
I would say so. It's in the realm for me of like almost like a Beavis and Butthead, where it defined that network a lot. Where when I think of Cartoon Network, when somebody's like Cartoon Network to me, or at least the beginning of it, I Reboot's there because I'm like, when I first started watching Cartoon Network, it was two shows that I remember seeing first. It was Reboot, and then it was Dragon Ball all the time when I was in college. And I was like, oh yeah, Reboot, okay. And it wasn't like a show that I loved, but it's like synonymous to me with that network. So it a lot of stuff wouldn't probably happen if I'm not sure if this is even the first one that was on Cartoon Network. I don't think so, but it just for me, that was like the first ones I remember watching. I was like, oh yeah, this is an actual network where you can just have cartoon. This was a main concept back in the day, but they had a network where they would only play one thing. They didn't used to do that back when I was younger, but when I got to like middle school, college, and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a network and it's gonna be based on one thing: food or travel or cartoons. I was like, cartoons? What are you gonna do with that? Then I saw them making their, I wouldn't say it's not original, but it's because it's from a Canadian channel, I believe they brought over. But when I think of Cartoon Network, it's Reboot. So yeah, for its, I guess, influence to the network, where that kind of put it on the map, kind of. I understand it being here. I'm not a huge fan of it. The lore is deep, so I can't say I'm the best lore expert on it, but I respect what it is.
All right, so that is the 25 shows that we have revealed today. A couple things in wrap up fashion. I did ask ChatGPT to take 4 of them and kick them off. The 4 that should most likely not be on this episode. They said Tailspin.
What?
They said the Smurfs. They said Beast Machines, and they said Underdog. They said those are the 4. They said those are the 4 that we should kick off.
This is why I don't trust artificial intelligence. I prefer actual intelligence.
They said Tailspin.
Did you call
Tailspin they said still feels like non-essential within its own era. So it's saying the other Disney afternoon shows are better. And then as far as the internet,
GPT,
and then as far as 4 shows that it says should be on the other side of the 50 mark, it gives us Popeye, Sailor Moon, The Clone Wars, and Adventure Time.
Well, I just asked Rock, and Rock said Tailspin's amazing.
All right, as far as looking at the different categories that we've been looking at so far, I don't know if any of y'all noticed this or not. Do you know which time period had the biggest presence in this section?
90s.
Yeah, we 90s? Had 9 shows from the 90s.
Oh.
We had 6 shows from the pre-1980s, 5 shows from the last 15 years, 4 shows from the 2000s. Does anybody keep track of how many 80s shows we had?
2.
3.
We had 1. Smurfs at number 70 was the only 80s show that we had this time. So it went from the highest representation last episode to the lowest in this episode. As far as some genre things, we went from 0 adult animation or adult comedy shows to 7 this time around. And we went from 5 superhero shows to how many this time?
Underdog is 1.
I'm not counting Underdog since it's a parody.
He's a superhero. He has a secret identity.
We had 0 this time around, guys. We had nothing from DC or Marvel. We had nothing from DC or Marvel this time around. So that was interesting. As far as some channel representation, we had 4 from ABC, 3 from NBC, 4 from Cartoon Network, 3 from Adult Swim, 4 from Disney. We had our first MTV show and our first 2 Fox shows. Nickelodeon completely absent from this entire episode. So nothing from Nickelodeon, even though we had 4 Nickelodeon shows last time around. And then from a studio standpoint, shows that were absent this time around, or studios that were absent. We had nothing from Marvel, we had nothing from Nickelodeon, and we had nothing from Warner Brothers. But we did have our first emergence of Cartoon Network, Mainframe, and as well as 2 additional Lucasfilm shows, 3 additional Disney shows, and 3 additional Hanna-Barbera shows. So, give you guys each a chance to react overall to this segment and the countdown so far. So, Steve, what are your thoughts so far? Biggest surprises or biggest fears, or what are you thinking now?
Well, I'm quite surprised in the amount of shows that did show up. Some of them above the original top 100 made it into the top 100 this time, and then some that are flip-flopping locations, and then a few new ones. I don't know where this is going to go, but I think it bodes well that at least some of my top 25 to some of my top 50 will probably end up in the next in the top 50.
Right.
Where they're going to land, I have no clue, but I have high hopes that some of my top 10 will show up in the top 10. Not all of them, but like 2 or 3.
So wait and see. We did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6 shows that climbed enough to get into the top 100 that had votes last time. So that would be Underdog gained enough to get in this time, Robot Chicken, Beast Machines, Impossible, The Venture Brothers, and Schoolhouse Rock. Those are all the ones that were new top 100 entries that didn't get enough votes last time. We did see climbing in the rankings Sailor Moon, The Critic, Johnny Quest, Huckleberry Hound Show, and Space Ghost Coast to Coast. We saw falling Reboot, The Clone Wars, Tailspin, Beavis and Butthead, Popeye, Pokemon, Smurfs, and The Pink Panther Show. DJ, what are your thoughts about this set of 25?
It's crazy to me because it felt like we got a lot of Star Wars, or at least a lot of sci-fi. In which how many sci-fi shows did we get in? Did you keep
Let's
track?
see. We had like 7 or something last time, I believe, and we added a few because we had 2 Star Wars entries this time around. But then we had, let's see, Pokemon. I don't know if you count that or not. We had Johnny Quest. We had Beast Machines.
Beast Machines is sci-fi.
That's about it. It was a lot of adult animation.
Reboot sci-fi. So yeah, you had some.
Yeah. The emergence of adult animation, though. I mean, we had Beavis and Butthead. Depends on if you want to call The Critic that. The Venture Brothers, Bob's Burgers, Rick and Morty. We had Space Ghost, Robot Chicken.
Sci-fi. Robot Chicken.
As far as like, I'm just talking about as far as comedy goes. We had a big presence of adult comedy.
Right.
Any other thoughts on what you saw or what surprised you?
I'm surprised you guys have not seen 2 of these shows. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, and I need you guys to watch them. Dear God, you're missing out.
For you.
I feel like Jules. I feel like what's his name, Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction. Y'all, you dig it the most, baby. Like you guys would love with these shows.
Mike, what do you think about this set of 25?
I'm sitting here every time you said, "Oh, somebody's number 1 is coming up next." I'm sitting here writing down every time. And I'm like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It hadn't happened yet. So either it didn't make the list or it's higher.
Yeah, it gets to that time, right? Like we talked about, like the difference between some of the shows with as far as once you get to the top 50, right? Like it becomes a little bit more predictable. Obviously, you get a better feeling. Like we said 27 new shows are going to be around this time. We've talked about all of them except for 4. So 23 of those 27 we've already talked about. So there's only 4 new ones to be here. Otherwise, everything in our top 50 is something that was on our list last time. So it will be a little bit more predictable. And then as we reveal more and more, like obviously it's not the type of list that is going to trick anybody. Once we reveal number 2, everybody's going to know what number 1 is, right? Like, or that type of thing. So like that's going to happen. And, next episode, when we do 50 through 26, we're going to see 2 more number 1s fall. And then in the final episode, when we do 25 through 1, we're going to have 13 of those shows were ranked at least number 1 by somebody. And it represents a ton. Like we're talking about 10, 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 37, 30, like almost 38 of our 44 number 1s are in the final 25 episodes or shows. So it's going to be kind of crazy once we get that point. So interested to see what people think on the comments and everything. So Mike, tell them how can they leave comments and do all that type of stuff.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us. But first, DJ, promote yourself. Where can the people find you? Yeah, you.
Oh,
you're the guest.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Make it simple. Make it simplistic, man.
I was born a poor black child. No, I'm on the Simplicity Reviews podcast.
Wait a minute here. I didn't crack a whip and say. Anyway,
I'm doing The Jerk with Steve Martin, my friend. Anyway, I'm on the Simplicity Reviews podcast with Justin Polizzi and Matthew Stewart, where we talk about movies and TV and a little bit more. Let's just say Adult Swim fashion. You can check us out on. You can just search us on anything: YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Check us out. We do some stuff. We talk about some things.
I love your dead draft, by the way.
We've gotten Kevin to join us in hell. our Deadpool, as we call it.
The Deadpool is awesome.
Deadpool's pretty good.
Did he say hell draft or head draft?
No, we're doing something called. I don't even know. It might not be appropriate to bring it up on this show, but
look, we're explicit around here. We've been explicit for 17 years. Just say it, man.
It's not even explicit. It's just the nature of morality. We're doing something called the Deadpool, where we pick every year who we think might not make it through this mortal coil by the end of the year, and whoever wins the trophy. And
that's why we have so many celebrity deaths when we do the year in review, Steve. They're killing people over at Simplistic Reviews.
We're not literally. Well, I don't know what Justin's doing on his spare time. But I'm not literally killing it.
They're voting on it.
Voting on it.
It's a morbid but hilarious concept.
We're conscientious objectors. We have nothing to do with their deaths. Maybe have nothing to do with it.
We just get a trophy if we win.
I just get a trophy and I celebrate if I win. I lose horribly. So if you want to live, be on my list. You'll live a long life.
I feel like you're embodying the spirit of Bert Aramis over there.
I was thinking the Grim Reaper, but sure, whatever floats your boat.
All right, Mr. Ring of the Musketeer. All right, folks, we're gonna get the heck out of here. Thank you, Toonsters. As always, we want to continue to welcome you in and joining us here on the GeekCast Radio Network's Top 100 Animated Series Countdown. This was numbers 75 to 51. You can always visit our website, geekcastradio.com, where you can listen to and comment on all of our content. We now have a brand new fourth wall store. Head on over to shop.geekcastradio.com and buy all the merch over there as well. Send us email to feedback@geekcastradio.com. You can check us out on all the podcatching clients you choose to use. You can follow us on X. It's at GeekCast Radio. I am at TFG and Mike. Steve, what is your Twitter?
At SCP-21.
Kevin, what's yours?
At OptimusSolo.
DJ?
At trying to be DJV.
I'm, of course, at TFG and Mike. You can also become a fan on Facebook. Go check out GeekCast Radio Network. Next time, we are revealing the numbers 50 to 26. We may have a special guest on that one. We're not sure if it's going to be DJ or someone else. We're going to talk about that off air. But for now, I am TFG and Mike with
Steve Megatron.
OptimusSolo.
Watch Adventure Brothers.
That's your name?
That's my name. That's what the V stands for.
Oh,
Venture.
I'll give you Venture. All right, folks. Thank you for listening. Until next time. Oh, yeah. And unleash the tune in you. Yeah.
to flight. Looney Tunes laughter that never fades. The Simpsons shaping culture through the decades. Family Guy twisting the comedy scene. Cartoon Network dreams on every screen. Marvel heroes soaring bold and free. DC legends etched in history. Hanna-Barbera paved the way. Warner Brothers magic still here today. Turtles in the shadows, cowabunga calls. Heroes in a half shell breaking the walls. X-Men charging with mutant pride. Scooby-Doo mysteries side by side. Futurama's future adventures untold. G.I. Joe battles brave and bold. Anime worlds with fire and light. From Sailor Moon's heart to Gundam's fight. Top 100 written latest series countdown. Legends stand and fans unite. From the classics to the brand new themes, we share the best through every fight. Thanks for tuning in, for sharing the dream, for building this ultimate geek scene. The countdown ends, but the spirit